Guys, what's going on? It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you guys. Guys, sorry for starting the live left like an hour late, guys. I had something that I had to do. You know what, guys? You know what? I'm gonna drop the link for anyone who's going up first. So guys, boy, do we have a doozy to go over today. So yeah, guys. Matt Korg, what's up, guys?
Good evening, sir.
Good to see you guys, man. Good to see you
All
guys.
about AJ. What up? What up?
Yeah. Mobile. Hey, what's up, man? In the Philippines. Good to see you, man. Hey guys, do you guys remember that one guy that called in a Fresh and Fit show? And he was like, hey man, Myron, like Fresh sucks. Why don't you do the show without Fresh? And he was like, Fresh, you can't do the show without Myron, but we can't do the show without you. He goes, all Myron has to do is get a mannequin and put a black trash bag over it and put some sunglasses on it. Well, guys, his live stream, I went on his live stream. His channel's really small, but guys, I went on his live stream. I'll drop the link in a community link post, community tab post, and I was talking to him on his live stream. He's hilarious, man. He really is. And that moment went so viral, and he doesn't really care about social media, so like he just kind of did it. And he said that everyone was trying to reach out to him to come on their podcast, and I was like, dude, thank you so much for hours and hours of entertainment, because I watched that clip. There were times where, like, anytime that I'm in a bad mood, I'll watch that clip just to watch him cook fresh. If you guys know the clip that I'm talking about, I'll put a 1. I'll try and find it before the end of the clip, And like, I told him, I was like, dude, you weren't trolling, you were just being honest. I said, you have a very he was just being truthful. He wasn't like, dude, you could tell like in his demeanor and how he speaks that he wasn't trying to do some gotcha moment. He was just telling the truth. And that's why that moment went so viral, So Secret, hey man, thanks for being a member for I appreciate the support, man. Thanks so much. Let me see.
Yeah, 3
Kelvin's
months.
here.
3 months, baby boy. 3 months.
And Red Door's here. Kelvin's here. Rajai's here. Who else? Daniel's here. Steve's here. Now, guys, let me just preface this by saying this, right, guys? People can call Andrew Wilson he's a cuck, he's a this, guys, Andrew Wilson's not a red pill guy. So per our standards, him marrying Rachel Wilson's not a good thing. Because he's not a red pill guy. To him, he has that old school, I'm an honorable guy for taking on this woman and her kids type of thing. From his worldview, his Christian ethicist worldview. That's why so many dudes were felt kind of betrayed by Andrew and the Rachel Wilson thing. It's just people only see him from the whatever podcast. People go, oh, well, Andrew's a red pill hypocrite. Andrew's not a red pill guy. He never claimed to be. You know what I'm saying? So I don't judge him by the same standards as I would judge one of us. Now for all guys, I would say, look, yes, he has, per our standards, he's doing something that we wouldn't do. But that doesn't make him a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying?
What I just wanted to add is that, when you oftentimes see people like on social media and you agree with what they say, many people make the mistake of like projecting their values onto that person.
Yes.
They then think that person agrees with absolutely everything that they have to say. And it's
exactly
like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yep. Guys, once again, Matthew, Korg, Seagrip, Kelvin, all of us, we wouldn't marry a single mom. Because once again, red pill is all about choice. It's about taking this dossier of information and making the best choice for yourself, right? Guys, you can be red pill and be married. You can be red pill and be in a relationship. You can be red pill and be single. You can be red pill and be a single dad. You can be red pill. Yeah, it just what do you think is best for you? You don't have to even if you disagree with the decision, as long as that person can tell you, look, I took this info and I believe that I made the best decision. Hey guys, let them do it. So this is what I would say. Trad cons, for the most part, we agree with a lot of trad cons. I would say 9 out of 10 times, but that 10% is a big deal, right? You think all the stuff that you agree with Matt Walsh and Michael Knowles are with, Crowder, but then they have the whole, men need a pack mule and men needed this, and Jesus says to take on these bastard kids and chicks that have the hurt there. We don't agree. So the areas where we disagree are big time areas, right? But does that mean that I disqualify Andrew Wilson? Because I believe Andrew Wilson is doing a lot more good than harm. Andrew Wilson does more to help our cause than to hurt it. Andrew Wilson marrying Rachel Wilson, who has 2 kids by 2 other dudes other than himself, how does that affect us over here when he's actually making Gen Z and Gen A become more conservative? When he's actually getting our talking points out there? When he's cooking these 304s, right? Andrew Wilson and Greg Adams, I guarantee after that debate, they sat down and went and had beers. Greg Adams and Andrew Wilson, they agree on capitalism. They agree on women not being whores. They hate liberals. They hate feminists, right? So, what exactly would keep them from not being friends? So this whole, tribalistic thing, guys, I'm trying to stop that from happening in our sphere. I'm tired of all the manosphere, infighting. Oh man, Secret, he ain't real. He ain't real. Oh, that core guy. Oh man, he ain't real. He a simp. That's not how it works over here. It's not happening, guys. All these guys have something good to say, and we shouldn't be like the left or women where they're constantly trying to disqualify each other. Matt, quick, can you say to the chat here what you told me about the left and tribalism? Was it yesterday or earlier today?
Yeah, well, it was yesterday. I went to cover a socialist conference in Chicago when I was in college. It was when I was finishing my degree in lacrosse, and when I went to this conference, these different desperate groups of very progressive Democrats and liberals, they it was like watching a herd of cats.
Yeah.
There was no quieting down the audience. There was no organization. There was no discipline. There was no, it was just, there was no control to the chaos. It was just chaos. And everybody was there fighting for their little piece of the pie. And that's really emblematic of the way that the Democrats are today. In fact, the socialists were even ideologically a little bit more pure than the Democratic Party is today. You have completely contradictory ideologies existing within the same party. Try and fit, the progressive feminists with the Islamists who support Palestine. Tell me how that works.
Yeah.
Those are two completely contradictory elements, and they don't agree on anything other than the fact that they just hate Trump in America.
Yeah,
in large parts, those are the only things that really bind those two groups together. Other than that, the problem for the Democrats is whenever they come into power, then one of these groups wants to take over and dominate the other. and then you have a civil war. That's when civil war breaks out on the left.
Can
when they
you
assume power.
explain the Spanish communist that
Sure.
you were talking about?
Yeah, this was all of these examples came during kind of a longer conversation that AJ and I had. And this is just a fact, a little bit known fact in military history. During the Spanish Civil War, shortly before World War II, you had the Spanish government, you had the fascists, and then you had the communists and the leftists that were all vying for power there. And really, it came down to the fascists and the communists fighting each other. And what I told AJ last night is again very emblematic of the left. More of the communists in that civil war actually ended up killing each other than the fascists killed communists or the communists killed fascists. It was the communists who would not cooperate with each other. And in fact, there's a tale about two or three communist movements that were besieged by fascist forces, and they would fight each other more than they would fight the fascists.
Isn't it funny how that works, guys? Right, guys?
And
doesn't that sound familiar?
Because
doesn't that sound familiar? Right? The wokes always tearing each other down. You know what I mean?
If you don't, no, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to finish this, Korg. For them, it very much is ego. For them, they see when they win that they're personally going to profit and benefit, and so they want to make sure that they're in the spotlight. It is 100% about them. It is an ego trip for them. And on the right side of politics, it's more about principle. And you start to understand that the deeper you get to understand the different personalities that motivate what motivates people in these different movements. That's why the communists they're more willing to fight each other than they are the actual enemy, because it's about who is vying for power.
Yeah, that's true. John says red versus white commies pre-World War II. Facts, absolute facts.
I want to add a little something to what Matt said. So when I was working on, I think it was during my associates. I did a research paper on Ronald Reagan. And I think it was during his first term, the Republican Party was getting a lot of contributions from gay rights activists. And they didn't know what to do with them. And Reagan said, you keep the money, because obviously they agree with what we're talking about.
Yep.
And that's the thing that the left just doesn't understand.
True.
I think that it was Ronald Reagan that once said all money is green.
He did, yes.
So I think that he was referring specifically to the log cabin Republicans, which was
That's
always
it. That's
which was
exactly
always
the group I was going to point out.
Yeah, which was always the Republicans that were closeted gays and did not feel like they wanted to reveal themselves or reveal their sexuality.
Well, here's the thing, guys, that people don't understand. It doesn't matter what your anything is, your religion or who you sleep with. At the party that's all about more freedom is always better, right? Guys, I'm telling you, conservatives believe in freedom. That means, guys, you can buy yourself a ranch out in the middle of nowhere and be left alone. Okay, guys, let's just say that you're a black person and you're in a county full of a bunch of these phantom racists that the wokey worry about. Buy a house out in the middle of nowhere. You can be left alone, not have any taxes, make your money. You know what I mean? Go to Walmart, get food every now and then, and be left alone. And if anyone comes on your property, right, per the conservative platform, guys, what do? Right? What do you do? Now that sounds pretty damn good to me, doesn't it? You know? Come on, man. So, guys, well, anyways, we don't have to break any news today. We'll break some news tomorrow. But guys,
just gonna break wind.
Yeah, too late. No, but hey guys, so let's guys, anyone who wants to call in, guys, hit the StreamYard link. So Matt Korg, Secret, have you watched this debate yet?
Yes, I watched it this morning.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
It
So
was ridiculous.
let's give okay.
So, Seagrip, are you saying it was an ass whooping?
You know something? We got to get into it, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Guys. Now this guy's obviously he's one of those converts that's only lived in the West. And guys, it's so crazy because a lot of this I used to see in like 2012, 2013, 14. It was a lot of British and Canadian women, white women, who would convert and then be like the craziest Muslim apologists. You know, it's crazy.
There is
You know,
nothing worse. Malcolm X. I got to put this out there. You guys go out to the YouTubes and watch the video of what Malcolm X says about the white liberal.
mm-hmm.
Yep.
And white women dial it up even worse.
Yeah, guys, put a 1 if you agree that college-educated, upper middle class white women are the most dangerous group of people on earth. They're the worst, right? They're the worst. They can be victims and empowered at the same time. They can call white men the worst things possible, but then benefit off of them at the same time.
And you know what else they'll do? They'll call out a conservative black man.
Yeah.
And call him a sellout and
That's
try
true.
to educate him on the plight of the black individual.
It happened to me.
Really?
My one friend's Ethiopian, and his now girlfriend is this woke white girl. And I guess my whole outlook on life, my like not having a victimhood mentality, because if you guys would have met me 20 years ago, you guys would have hated me. Seriously, like me in my early 20s, I was totally blue pilled. Oh, white people this and Christianity that and capitalism sucks and all this crap. Probably until I was about 22, 23, right? And then you just take that victimhood, and Seagrip can talk about this too, and you just toss it off of you, and it's like a weight just coming off your shoulders, man.
It's liberating.
Yeah.
It's liberating to shed that moral weight, moral grandstanding that you feel like you have to carry around everywhere.
It's not. I don't even know. I can't even like verbalize what it is. It's just this.
It's an oppressive.
It's a narcissistic.
Yes.
Like hubris, where you think that you're so important that the world is out to get you, that these systems are out to get you. Who are you? Guys, Matthew is nobody. Korg is nobody. Seagrip is nobody. Anonymous is nobody. I'm nobody. Adama is nobody. Creepy Robert. We're just people out here trying to make the best of what we can. Eating shit just like everyone else. Bill Burr said it the best. Life is a shit sandwich, and we're just trying to take a bite. I hate to swear, guys. I try to not swear, all right? But the concept of the fact that Matt, Korg, Anonymous, and all you white guys just magically have it better, that you guys get up in the morning, go to the toilet, drop trowel, and poop out gold bars. It's like, what are you talking about? People honestly believe this. Not literally, but the way that Mamdani and all these idiots is basically acting like all you white guys are just born with like the ability to just conjure gold out of nowhere.
It's not so much the gold bars, it's the arrogance of thinking that you know better than everybody else.
Facts. Yeah, I was on Devil's Advocate stream. Guys, every now and then I go over there and cook, but there's this one guy, this 22-year-old bisexual white kid that like tries to test his debate skills out on Devil's Advocate. So basically he's beta, right? And I'm like, there was Devil's Advocate who's Asian, an immigrant. There was me and 2 other black guys on his panel. And this guy's like, oh, well, America sucks and America this. And I'm like, I find it rich that you're a leftist white guy and you're complaining. And there's 4 minorities that are saying you have nothing to complain about. And you're trying to argue with us. Isn't that hilarious? You know what I mean?
To get virtual signaling.
Thank you very much. But yeah,
can I just add something in here, AJ?
Yeah.
So I think Thomas Sowell, if you know who that is.
Cool. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, he's an economist, very well regarded. He said, just regarding what you said about white liberal women, he said, he's got a quote here, and he said, "Few skills are so well rewarded as the ability to convince parasites that they are victims."
Facts. Let's go, dude. Let's go. Right there, right?
You need to get that framed.
Let's go, dude. That's one of the greatest quotes I've ever heard.
You need to get that quote framed in like gold, my friend.
Go. Yeah, and guys, if you ever go to Devil's Advocates channel, Marte's channel, you guys, you hear me on there, guys. I'm not a debater. I'm not, because I can't suffer stupidity. I have no patience, because I will cuss people out. I'm serious, and it's not because I don't have emotional control. It's just there are people who say stuff, and we are in this TikTok generation where you will corner someone where all they should just say, you know what, Matt, he got me, bro. You are correct. I can see. But instead, they'll double down. They'll double down for their TikTok audience or whatever. And at that point, you go, you are a moron.
I think it's justified.
You are a moron.
I think it's justified, actually, when you call someone out and you call them a dick.
Yeah.
When they're just like, they're not being sincere when they're debating.
Yeah, what did Ron White say? He goes, and I was on the debate team, and the person said this and that, and I was like, yeah, well, fuck you. I thought I won the debate.
Well, the problem is they've all been told their whole lives how special they are, and they cannot, how do I want to put this? They cannot digest the idea that there's a possibility that a different viewpoint may actually be correct.
But Cord, they've been told that anyone who has an opposite viewpoint is so other that they're not even human beings.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
This is a thing, guys.
I agree.
Guys, we have people who disagree with our red pill talking points all the time. Yes, we call them simps and betas, but we still say, look, you will learn. And guess what? Once you learn, bro, you're welcome over here. If it takes the court shoving that red pill up your butt, we're not going to hold it against you, man. That's why, guys, put a 1 if you agree. The red pill is the most accepting space there is, because unlike the left or the wokey wokes, where they have to have some purity test, just like Matt said, where they're like, oh, you're a liberal? We'll see. Guys, we know everyone that comes into our space has done something wrong per our criteria. We've all messed up. You know,
I think Anonymous will agree with me that we draw the line at IPAs. It's just no, ain't gonna happen. You're wrong.
Wrong. Look at this guy. Look at this guy over here.
I always say people like that who haven't realized that thing. I always say they haven't suffered enough.
Yeah. Or they're in these echo chambers now. They're on TikTok with their mute button. That's why Andrew smokes these idiots when they try and debate him on whatever. It's because these young kids, they're on TikTok and they mute people. They have that mute button.
Yes.
Guys, in a debate, you can't mute the person. If you have to mute the person, you lose. If I'm debating, let's just say that I would have some feminists on here. Now, I can say that I'm going to go over when Lila Rose got cooked by Pearly things. Lila Rose was cutting Pearl off to the point where she had to mute the chick, right? That isn't good.
That's different. That's different.
But if
I also want to add, if they throw a tantrum, or if the opposition, if your opponent is calling you names, you've won. Yeah, they have to resort to that. Then you know that you've won.
Yes,
or filibustering.
Yep, guys. Oftentimes in debates, maybe I still have faith in people's intelligence, but some people say some stuff. I'm like, dude, you don't believe that. I know you don't believe that. because you're not that stupid. And I'm not trying to call them stupid. I'm just saying that what you're saying is stupid. Guys, let's give our whole opinion of this debate. Guys, I think that this guy right here, this has to be one of the worst ass whoopings I've ever seen in debate history.
And they're talking about IQ as well,
Yeah,
which is
I've watched a lot of debates, guys. I've watched atheist versus theist debates, Muslim versus Christian debates, socialist versus capitalism debates, and I have never seen an ass whooping this bad. And what I mean by is I've never seen a debater complete, when Andrew goes in on the topic, this guy did not even think that was a thing. He was completely blindsided. He was caught on the back foot and was on the back foot the entire time. Andrew knocked him out in the first 10 seconds of the fight, paid the ref to use smelling salts to wake the guy back up, and then just kept knocking him out over and over again.
He's just constantly on the ropes.
Dude. When Andrew goes on the topic that he's going on, this guy had to argue that banging your cousin's good. He had to argue that having low IQ is good. He had to argue that AI is going to save Islam. It's like, dude, seriously?
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
Imagine being such a bad debater that there's such a big hole in your worldview. Andrew completely nuked this guy. Matt, you're next, and then Korg, and then Secret, and then Anonymous.
Well, the one thing that I wanted to say to a point that you made earlier about these people on the internet that you've seen debate, especially with the newer generations, is that it's a lack of humility. It's a lack of it's a lack of appreciating that when you're wrong, taking accountability for that, recognizing it, and knowing, carrying that knowledge with you forward into everything else. And that's part of the problem with these leftists is that they have no humility. They're not humble at all about everything. And that's why I said, that they that they're very arrogant in how they approach always deciding for other people. It's like most of them can't even take care of themselves.
Yes.
It's like they've never been held to any kind of objective standard at all in life ever. And it's kind of like, would you let somebody take care of your family or make decisions for your economic future who couldn't balance their own checkbook or take care of themselves? Or has
never worked a real job, dummy.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna elect a guy who has never worked a job in his life now as mayor of New York. And how many times have we seen this play out with every leftist revolutionary that has come forward in the Democratic Party? It's the same story over and over and over, and always ends the same way. This is like a theme that repeats with the communists and the Democrats and the leftists. It's over and over and over. They try the same things and are mystified when they get the same results.
But Matt, isn't it obvious that they're trying to give those who don't work more power over those who do?
Yes.
Isn't it funny how that works?
It is totally a Machiavelli way of looking at politics. It's a pay for play Tammany Hall style of politics. That's what I mean when I say that conservatives are built off principle, and the Democrats are just outright, they're offering, hey, I'm going to give you
demonic.
But I'm going to give you this government giveaway, this government subsidy in exchange for your vote. And it's a real politic way of looking at acquiring political power, but that doesn't build anything. And it only damages the country, its economy, and the people who actually produce and work.
Can we agree, guys, that when they say universal anything, it just means someone else is going to pay for it?
No, that
So
means that
universal
like a guy
healthcare,
like
whatever.
Bernie
Yeah.
Sanders is going to find a way to screw everybody else and get another vacation fund home from the large fund that he sets up. That's how
Yeah.
I see these Democrats
That's true.
operate.
Yep. Korg,
What was the question?
what is your summary of this debate? Like,
I haven't seen it.
okay, perfect. Okay.
I'm eager to see the ass whooping that secrets that occurred.
Secret, what is your just give
Without-
like your
the
basic
man was just outside his depth. You know, he didn't rise to the occasion. Now, his opening statement, his opening premise, I was excited for this debate. And Andrew pretty much set the trap, had him fall into his frame, and like you said before, kept him on the back foot all night long, kept him backpedaling. And he just did not know how to pivot and to reframe, but also, he just didn't know how to pivot. And because I wanted to hear, because here's the thing, I can see the advantages and disadvantages, the pros and cons on both sides of the argument. And there are many good tenets or principles that he says, that there's many good things that he stated in his opening statement that I was excited to hear debate about, but Andrew did that Uno reverse and he just could not get out of it. He just could not know how to pivot. It's like, you know, he just had him on the ropes all night. He just had him on the ropes the whole time. I would love to see that debate just with a stronger debater.
Creepy says he must be from Minnesota. The Muslim guy must be from Minnesota. Guys, hit the like button, please. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button, guys. Hit the join button, guys. Please remember that. What's that?
Yeah, I'll bring up more. I don't want to spoil it for the people.
No worries.
Yet,
guys,
so
I'll be live tomorrow, but because I'll be out of town Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So, guys, we'll do Monday lives and Friday lives this week, and no Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but I will be live late on Friday. So, Anonymous.
Oh.
And, you know, guys, so Anonymous, he's from the UK, so he has a pretty biased opinion on
I do have a biased opinion on this because I've seen where it goes. And quite frankly, man, I'm going to try and be more respectful on this, but it's like I personally think the Muslim faith is the most dangerous thing possibly on planet Earth. Quite frankly, because they don't seek truth, they seek power. That's the only thing they care about. And you can just tell because we know that these things are bad. We know, we have the evidence, but they don't care. They are a bunch of zealotous, just robots that just repeat mantras. And and you can never progress as a society if like in England we had the Enlightenment, where we had the Christianity was like it, where it would stop people from being educated and looking at discoveries, and that's exactly what they do. They punish people who seek truth. And this debate is just so hilarious because he like every single point he tries to make, he just gets slapped back. It's amazing.
Yeah. So guys, let's just start this here. Let's do this. And guys, doesn't this guy just have a face that you would not tire of punching, right? Like you could just punch it all day long and
Very
just not
punchable face.
Well, I just have such stamina today.
Smug.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Just a quick note. I want this to be a civil debate because right now there's a massive Zionist campaign to generate as much hostility between Muslims and Christians as possible. If I can say something nice about Andrew, I respect him for not being a shill for Israel. I think we can be civil, but also very critical of each other's religions without it turning vicious. The only ones who benefit from a Muslim-Christian civil war right now is Israel. which is stoking hate so that they can continue their genocide of both Muslim and Christian Palestinians while they bleed America dry. Let's keep that larger context in mind. So the first slide, which is best for society, Islam or Christianity? Next slide. The answer depends on which standard we use to judge, traditional or secular liberal values. Traditional values include belief in God, prayer, marriage, and gender roles, opposition to degeneracy, and commitment to nation and shared culture. Secular liberal values include individual freedom, gender equality, sexual autonomy, scientific progress, and economic advancement. If we judge by traditional values, Islam beats Christianity hands down. If we judge by secular liberal values, Christianity comes out on top. The reason for this is that Christianity, since the Enlightenment, has been reformed and adopted liberal values while eroding traditional ones. This is because Christianity is more open to evolving in a way that Islam isn't. My opponent, Andrew Wilson, claims to be a traditional Christian, but we'll see if he'll debate like a traditional Christian or like a blue-haired libtard.
Now, guys, I have to say this is pretty funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a. Guys.
That's the way that trad Andrew is dressed, is a Coptic Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this was clever. And guys, this guy here, how about this? He's probably done well in debates to the point to where he thought that he was a good debater. But guys, as they say, there's levels to this. There are guys who thought that they were good boxers until they met that one. Guys know who Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Marvin Hagler, yes.
Do you guys know that Jonathan Mugabe? Does anyone know who he is?
Yeah, Mugabe, yeah.
The boxer?
Yeah, I've heard of him. I've just never seen any of his fights or anything.
Okay. Do you know why?
No, I have no idea.
Because he got beat by Marvin Hagler. Jonathan Mugabe, they called him either like the monster or the beast because he was knocking people out. He was so scary and no one wanted to fight him. He was an African dude. And a young Marvin Hagler said, I'll fight him. Who's this guy? Marvin Hagler beat the brakes off of him, and now everyone knows who Marvin Hagler is, and nobody knows who Jonathan Mugabe is, right? This guy that Mugabe didn't know that there was levels to this,
But
and
you can actually see why I started off by saying I was getting excited for this debate.
Yeah. Yep.
If he debates as a traditional Christian, he should defend Christianity. He should defend Christianity as understood before modern liberal reforms. For example, even though he's Orthodox, I doubt he'll defend Byzantine Orthodox norms, such as theocratic monarchy, the monarch's authority to define
church.
Church.
The thing, guys, is this: the church and the Christian church doesn't claim to not change like Islam does.
Because, no, it's God's last word.
Yes, because if you look at the Orthodox Church, at the Catholic Church, then it's up to church doctrine to determine these things. It's the Bible and the body of the church itself. It's the clergy that moves the church forward. Can I say
something here about Islam, because I actually know quite a bit about this. This is called what's known in Islam as abrogation, which means that the way it was interpreted by Muhammad is the way that it is interpreted today.
Yeah,
and there's no changing that. So that is why when people say that Muslims think in a 4th century mindset, that's exactly what they're talking about. Because what was true in Muhammad's time, which was the 4th century, it is exactly true today for both the Sunni and the Shia, because of abrogation, which is that the religious clerics of today cannot come into conflict with an interpretation that Muhammad made in the Quran.
Yeah. And guys, they pride themselves on that. But that's why so many Catholics were like, when the previous Pope was like, maybe the whole same-sex marriage thing, or condoms, he had the power to do that, though. You know what I'm saying? Whereas per the Islamic faith, that's a no-no. So all of this is not contrary to what he believes Andrew believes are to be. So
doctrine, slavery, book bans and speech restrictions, death penalties for blasphemy, apostasy, and pagan worship, restrictions and bans on loaning money with interest, minimum marriage age of 12, bans on divorce, mandatory veiling of women with.
So basically all of the stuff that you still believe in, you dumb, right?
Yeah.
All the stuff that this guy on the right still claims to believe in. Or the countries that represent his faith still believe in, you absolute dunderhead.
Stupid. Unveiled women labeled as prostitutes.
Right?
Yeah.
Prostitutes, lashes for fornicators, punishing married adulterers by cutting off noses or sewing them into sacks and burning them alive, execution for homosexual acts, limits on Jews through bans on Jewish proselytizing and building new synagogues. If we look at a timeline of Christianity, for 1700 years, Christianity upheld its pre-modern norms of slavery, female subordination, monarchy, punishments for blasphemy, executions for adultery. After the Enlightenment, Christians began reforming their religion to match secular values, and that liberalizing process continues today with the acceptance of homosexuality, LGBT rights, and modern feminism. Even though he's a conservative, Andrew already accepts huge chunks of this liberal reform. He's fine with abolishing slavery, rejecting monarchy, ending blasphemy, and adultery punishments. His conservatism simply draws an arbitrary line at a later stage, roughly 1950s America. But libtard progressives follow that same reform trajectory, just a few stages or steps further. Andrew isn't defending traditional Christianity, he's defending his preferred arbitrary stopping point on a progressive path he already agrees with. In other words, the difference between him and the libtards is quantitative, not qualitative. Just a dispute over where to halt the same ongoing cucking to secular liberalism. So Andrew's conservatism is not principled, it's arbitrary. Given this, I predict Andrew will debate like a blue-haired libtard today and use a pro-liberal strategy against Islam. Because again, Christianity can't beat Islam on traditional values for the simple reason that Islam isn't amenable to reform the way Christianity is. So he'll likely attack Islam exactly like a blue-haired alphabet person would by calling Islam backwards on...
You can imagine this guy typing up these slides like, yeah, I'm going to get him. Yeah.
Marriage,
I'm
gender
just going to
roles,
call it out
and
right
science.
here. He's already lost me by constantly saying libtard.
Yeah.
Talk like a mature adult. I'm getting fed up with, you conservatard, you libtard. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's not clever. It's not
No,
funny.
it's not.
Yeah, guys, even in our like funny conversations, guys, how many of us in our conversations on this channel libtard? We don't even say that over here, so
Scientific and economic progress. But if Andrew attacks Islam using secular liberal values, he faces a dilemma. Because tomorrow he's debating an atheist on whether Christianity or secular liberalism is better for society. So any pro-liberal standard that Andrew uses to judge Islam today, tomorrow that same liberal standard can be used by his atheist opponent to judge Christianity. For example, if he says Christianity is better than Islam because it gives women more rights and promotes more scientific progress and health, the atheist can argue that secular liberalism does even more of those things. Andrew knows this, so against the atheist tomorrow, he'll likely revert back to a traditional Christian stance, highlighting issues like LGBT, incest, and low birth rates. I'm not singling out Andrew. All Christian debaters code switch. They know Christianity isn't as based as Islam on traditional values, nor as progressive as secularism on liberal values. Christianity is stuck in the middle between traditionalism and secularism. So to win against either Islam or secularism, Christians have no choice but to code switch depending on who they're debating. Putting aside this conceptual problem with Christian apologetics, How do we know that Islam is better for society than Christianity? Again, it depends on what values we adopt. Muslim and Christians generally subscribe to traditional values. In fact, all humans, due to biology, inherently value things like belief in a creator, marriage, family, and community. So let's see whether Islam or Christianity is better at promoting these things in society using the abundance of empirical data available. Let's start with a bird's eye view using the World Values Survey, a global project measuring beliefs, values, and cultural changes in over 100 countries. Their World Cultural Map from 2023 groups countries by religion. Protestant European countries are yellow, Orthodox is red, European Catholics are green, Latin America in light blue, and Islamic countries in gray. On the
Now, guys, do you already see what's wrong with this map here? Anyone? Survival versus self-expression values. Guys, he's trying to say that it's a good thing that all these kind of these places here have survival versus self-expression. When you live in extreme poverty, you moron, right? You don't know where your next meal's gonna come from, you absolute dunderhead.
Some people are really fucking stupid.
Imagine being this stupid, this dumb, this moronic to actually think that being down here is a good thing. Think about that for a second. Because is anyone here, can anyone here just go to your garage, get yourself a hammer and hit yourself in the head like 5 times so you can think on this guy's level? Okay? Seriously. And think, how is it a good idea to be down here?
Well, it is if you're on top of the social hierarchy, then it's actually a good thing.
Yes, that's true.
You're basically the king of shit mountain.
True.
A bunch of uneducated, just like savages.
Yeah,
that's great. Like, if you know, look through history, it was great to be on top where everyone else was, you know, trying to just survive.
Yeah. Yeah. Who else was saying something?
Yeah, I was just backing Anonymous saying you're just the king of shit mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, king shit mountain. Yeah, pretty much.
Matt, you were saying?
I think that he tries to mix in the Orthodox with the Islamic, or tries to segregate it out. The Orthodox Christians, they were based in Constantinople, or it's now Turkey. And the other big part of where the Orthodox Christians existed was in Russia. Most of the Orthodox, the home of Orthodox Christianity was in the Middle East, and their numbers have dwindled. So I'm not surprised to see them on the lower end of the survival scale. Those people have been fighting for their lives, and who have they been fighting? Well, primarily Islam.
That's true.
So, I mean, and then, you look at where these nations are, or where these groups are gathered on the map. I'm just doing a cursory examination. Like, do any of them on the lower left-hand corner, do they really represent where you want to live and raise your family? Or is kind of that more along the lines of the top right? Do you know what I mean?
I don't see many people visiting these countries for a holiday.
Yeah, and they're not crossing many countries or large bodies of water to move to these countries down here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on.
that's what my point is. Yeah.
Stupidest thing I've ever heard. Because I would rather be here and try and make this better, like here and here, to try and make this better, than be here. Because here's always going to be this way. Always. Always.
I hate the fact that he's saying about traditionalism. Right, this is the one thing. It's like, you can be traditional, but still understand reality and still understand like how things work.
I 100% agree with that.
It's like, sorry guys, like it's just, it's like the whole Adam and Eve thing, right? It's like with Christianity. Yeah, I'm sure there was like some primitive humans like Adam and Eve, right? But it's like the fact that like someone broke off a rib, and then someone magically created another human. Like, I don't think that's possible.
He's
Yeah.
he's like miscasting this in that, you know, if Christians stayed true to their roots, they would be just like Muslims, and it's like, no, they have
No.
completely different values. They
Well,
see the
but-
world in
but
radically
guys-
different ways.
Well, here's the thing, though. Think about how bad it is in these areas, right? Because necessity breeds innovation, right? And oftentimes, hard times breed necessity, and then necessity breeds innovation. These areas have been on hard times for a long time, and what innovation has come out of there? Even the Middle East, right? Yeah, they had that time back in the day where they invented, was it algebra and zero and all that other crap? That was
maybe an
100
abacus.
Yeah. Come on, dude. You know, and they've been cooked ever since. And the craziest part in all these places still is we talk about the top 1% here in America. There is a top 0.0001% that have everything, and everyone else lives in abject poverty. So
I'll give you an example, right? It's like when the British went to Egypt to go and discover these lost civilizations. They found that the locals were using mummies as firewood.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
Countries that value individual self-expression and autonomy are further right on the graph. On the y-axis, countries that are more secular are higher up. The ones that have more traditional values are lower. So you can see in the bottom left, there are the Islamic countries that are more traditional, whereas the Christian countries are more secular and value.
But they're based on survival. Guys, Anonymous, Fulgrim, right? What happened when Fulgrim fell to Chemos and actually made technology and made them not have to rely on mining over time? You remember they started focusing on art and
well, yeah, but then that created all this degeneracy because
no. That happened after during the Horus Heresy. But one of the things that Fulgrim, guys, this is 40K, right? He was interested in was art, was like being an artisan, right?
Yeah, creativity.
Yeah. Creativity cannot be a thing when people are scraping by and trying to eat day to day and starving, you know?
Individual autonomy. How about belief in God? Muslim countries show higher religiosity and belief in God.
Well, they don't have a choice, buddy.
Than Christian ones. For example, Pew Research asked people in different countries if they believe in God. For nearly all the Muslim countries, the number was 100%, to such an extent that Pew concluded that nearly all Muslims surveyed believe in God. Another Pew data set shows Muslim countries, Bangladesh, Indonesia, Malaysia, at the top of global belief rankings, while Christian countries are split with Kenya, Ghana, and the Philippines.
All shitholes, by the way. Look,
While they're being asked that question with the gun to their head.
As the religious police are out there with freaking those batons ready to beat your feet. If you don't, they hang you upside down and whack. Guys, Matt, Cord, have you guys seen how they cane people in Singapore?
Oh yes. Yep.
Whoa, that popped up on my Twitter feed, bro. They take this column and they wrap, make it look like you're hugging it and then tie you around it, and that bad boy goes. They do this.
He's a martial arts master.
Have you guys seen
those guys practice for a long time to do those canings?
They go hold on. They go forward first. They stand side to side. They go forward first, twist their body, and then come all the way back and go whack whack.
Yes,
Sister Mary France.
And the condemned will have a tendency to pass out, and they want to make sure you get the full experience, and they revive the condemned.
They'll
proceed with that ass whooping.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
It's even better. You go through a medical examination before the caning.
Yes.
Damn.
They want to make absolutely certain you get to detail the experience afterward to anybody who asks you about it.
Yeah.
Singapore
perfectly fit to get an arse
around. Remember, Singapore is the place where when you get off the plane, there is a trash can that says "Last chance to ditch your drugs," because when you're caught with those drugs beyond that point, they will execute you.
Yep.
No,
Guys,
there is no way getting around it.
yeah, most crimes, guys. It's well. Hold on, where did my thing go? Hold on. Is don't get the other
As a result, they have very clean cities.
Yeah.
And
they make the family watch. They make the family watch. So your wife and kids and your mom are like, no, he's not.
What we need to do is we need to start shipping the B-dubs over there and let them
man, they could use them as training dummies over there. You know what I'm saying? Those guys look, B-dubs are freaking invincible anyways. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen B-dubs get hit by cars. You know what I mean? Freaking
like
pepper spray.
These
just shake it up. Guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, guys. Hit the super chat button. Guys, thanks for all the cash apps, man. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
But the U.S., Spain, and France.
Come across your feed the white boy that got caned. And
I was just looking it up. Oh, did you send it?
He literally said it was the most horrific experience of his life. But here's the thing. You can still look and see, he's different now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It worked. He's like, you know what? Maybe I was overreacting. Maybe this isn't gonna be that bad.
Kids, crime doesn't pay.
It does not pay. The technique that you use. I'll have to pull it up, guys.
I'm getting it.
Technique.
Yeah,
drop it in the
What about
private
religiosity? On this map, all Muslim countries are dark purple, showing the largest share of religious followers. Christian countries, except
places where we don't want to live.
Yeah, do you notice where it is?
Yeah, hold on. I want to point something out. You get killed trying to leave Islam.
Yeah,
That's why they have those shades of color. Because if you admit to those countries, to anybody in those countries, that you leave Islam, that is apostasy, and that is a death penalty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I could talk forever about apostasy.
Yeah.
It's like, again, like all of these countries are like ones that places like Canada, America, Europe, they tell you don't go there. Literally, the government tells you not to go there because it's dangerous. It's stupid, man.
And America are much lower, like the U.S., Europe, and Russia. Pew studied how important religion is to people's lives. And for Muslim countries, they're dark yellow, indicating 80 to 100% of people saying religion is very important to them, while most Christian countries are much lower in gray and blue. The 2024 Integrated Values Survey confirms this. In majority Muslim countries like Indonesia and Egypt, over 97% say religion is very important, whereas in Christian countries like Mexico, the US, Russia, and Germany, religion matters far less. Another key metric is religious switching. Pew shows Christianity in red has the largest net loss of followers, while Islam in green has the highest net gain from conversions.
But the net loss of people, because everyone's leaving your country. Dumb.
I think you're pretty behind on the slides. Yeah, there it is. All right. Now let's look at family and gender roles. Muslim societies have higher rates of marriage than Christian societies. Notice how the percentage of married individuals of both Muslim women and men, indicated by the red and blue arrows, is higher than Christians, since Christians are more likely to delay or forego marriage. We can also look at divorce laws. Christian countries mostly allow no-fault divorce, while Muslim countries often have fault-based divorce or other limitations on women. When it comes to fertility, Pew Research shows that Muslims are at 2.9 globally, whereas Christians are at 2.6. And even when you break it down by region, Muslims in Europe, the Asia Pacific, and Sub-Saharan Africa have more children than their Christian counterparts. Muslims also have the largest families by household size, at 6.4 members per household compared to 4.5 for Christians. Due to both higher birth rate and higher net conversions, Islam is...
Say again?
What again? Like, they have so many children. Yeah, because, dude, you go to somewhere like the UK, a vast majority of you are on benefits, taking taxes from people who work in the UK.
Well, and they're also
the amount of people in like places like Birmingham and Bradford and all of these places where they're like most of the city is on benefits.
So
and what is the majority of people in those cities? They're all Muslim.
Yeah.
So that is true in the Western world. What they don't talk to you about in the Middle East is that many of these guys have like 4 wives.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We incentivize our own replacement in the West.
Yeah.
This is the problem.
And guys, who advocates for this the most?
Women.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. But now there's a slow shift where even these feminists are like, who's gonna save us? Well, guys, so
they secretly want to be dominated, man.
You're trying to tell me that Mahmoud, he's jumping out the bushes and graping these chicks and essaying them and taking them hostage, guys.
That ain't got shit to do with me. Hey, that ain't got shit to do with me. That ain't got shit to do with me. Hey, that ain't got shit to do with me.
Yes.
I want to put forward a conspiracy theory right here and now. I want to make this official. So the feminists, maybe around 2010, ran out of like real things to complain about. So it is now my conspiracy theory, based on what you said, AJ, that they've started importing hostile populations into the United States in order to create a grape problem where there really was no grape problem.
I think that's giving them too much.
I know. I'm just being funny about it. I'm sorry.
And I think that there's the ignorance and the arrogance of abundance, where these women honestly think that people only commit crimes because they're hungrier or because they didn't have the right parents. There's always some story. So we
have magic soil, guys. Like Europe and America and Canada and Australia.
Yeah.
We've all got magic soil that just changes these people's perspective.
They think that all people who come to America or the UK have good intentions and these poor people and blah 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 blah, and that there's enough to go around and blah 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 blah. And they've never built anything. They've never worked towards anything. They've never had to protect anything. Right?
They fall for the noble savage fallacy.
Thank you.
Yeah. Noble savage fallacy. Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. True. So
is the fastest growing religion projected to meet and exceed the Christian population in 25 to 50 years. How about sexual behaviors? Research in American Sociological Review show Muslims, due to religious conviction, are less likely to have premarital or extramarital sex than Christians. Some Christians might claim this is only due to self-reporting bias, because Muslims are less likely to admit to engaging in these behaviors. But we can account for this by benchmarking against other variables like medical abortions and death rate from HIV/AIDS, which directly correlate with extramarital sex.
Now, guys, here's the thing. Damn. Wait. Who says what now?
No, I want to know. This is real. I want to know if what they talk about is premarital sex and cheating on your wife. Does that include farm animals?
Yeah.
Because
that
bar in the Muslim category is going to skyrocket.
Yeah. And in Afghanistan, underage males, right?
Yep.
Guys, that's a thing.
Afghan dancing boys.
Yep. Disgusting.
Yeah, the boys,
That has to be that, and then the Dalits, the caste system, the Dalits. Those two things have to be the worst. Like,
how can they say they're not gay?
Because it's like a loophole in their religion, I guess, that they can't touch women, but they can bang. It's just isn't making sense. Disgusting.
You're talking about this,
right?
You're talking about the same people who also, with their definitions of sex, they won't see, sex with a slave, as the same thing as sex with their wife.
Yeah,
because grape is literally defined differently in Islam.
Yeah. You're lower than me, so you don't count.
Right. You're a farm animal, so I can do what I want to you.
Yeah,
you're literally a piece of farm equipment.
Right.
Yeah.
Guys, there was one guy. He was in the military, and he was in Afghanistan. He said that it's disgusting because guys walk around with their like harem of little boys, like showing them off. It's like, and he's like, and they're like, dude, we're trying to help these people.
Yeah.
Why?
There was a bunch of American soldiers and British soldiers that were just like traumatized by it.
Disgusting. Anyways.
Yeah.
Data shows abortion rates are highest in Christian regions, and death from AIDS are highest in Christian countries in Africa, Russia, and Latin America. But lowest.
Now, guys, here's the thing. If you just take this on face value, you might think, I mean, he is making some decent points, but once again, Andrew's argument completely nukes all of this. This is what's so masterful about this whole thing is Andrew's entire argument just wrecks this entire thing, right? So let's just skip ahead, right?
We can examine why Islam consistently excels in these areas. First, Muslims
He's trying to say that Christian countries have the biggest domestic violence. Wait a minute.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
Christians value gender equality. Hold on. Where was the?
No one can make a complaint.
Look at this. He's saying Christian countries have the highest SA rate more than
get out of here.
That's cap.
A lot of hold on. It's going right to definitions again. I mean, look at Somalia. They didn't make grape a crime in Somalia until 2018.
Sure.
So how are you gonna if it's not even a crime, who do you report it to?
And they don't classify diddling.
Yeah, so like the amount of people
in Afghanistan
come in,
exactly,
it's a crime.
The amount of people who've come in, like it's like when like Canada's getting 1 million people a year.
Yeah, and all of a sudden the SA rates go up every single place that these knuckleheads go.
Yeah, I don't think
isn't it funny?
For doing anything that bad.
Yep.
Example, monotheism is easier to grasp than the Trinity. Islam is also more historically preserved. Carbon dating confirms that the Quran Muslims read today traces to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. By contrast, the Bible has evolved through layers of editing and reflects the theology of Paul far more than the teachings of Jesus. Islam also better preserves traditional life and family through a clear, comprehensive system of
Sharia has a comprehensive system.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Yeah. Christianity, by contrast, often
by multiple people. It's a collaboration.
Yeah, and it admits that from the jump.
Only broad, highly malleable principles that different Christian groups interpret in conflicting and often contradictory ways. A Christian rebuttal could be that even if Islam...
Isn't it funny, guys? Like, he's already saying, I already know what Andrew's going to say. Then Andrew guys, this is what made it so good. His smugness, this confidence he has. And then it's like, guys, I was saying that this is what this is. Guys, we'll actually get to Andrew's part here in a little bit. Because this is what hold on.
He created all of these arguments in a vacuum.
Yeah. This is it. Hold on.
So, gentlemen, I'm letting you guys know right now. If I ever end up in a debate against Andrew or Pearl, I'll be hitting you guys up on the Discord for a special login for a special live.
That's what a lot of these younger debaters do. Like they'll have their friends on Discord feeding them answers, or they'll be on chat GPT. There was one guy who actually got caught using chat GPT in a debate. It's like, oh no, that wasn't right, bro. That was another screen that my sister was using at the time. Right.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Secular ones like individual freedom, self-expression, and scientific or economic progress. Christianity, they could argue, wins overall because it blends the best of both worlds, preserving core morals while still enabling the modern achievements of the Christian West: more freedom, science, technology, and higher GDP. This argument has fundamental problems, however. First, is Western prosperity due to Christianity or secularism? For example, how much of Western greatness comes from pre-Christian traditions like Greece and Rome? Furthermore, if Christianity drives prosperity, why haven't the oldest Christian nations like Ethiopia and Armenia matched the West's success? Likewise, recently Christianized society.
Because there's a pretty large Muslim population there too, buddy.
Yeah,
boy.
you guys invaded those countries and destroyed them.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever heard of the Crusades, man?
Yeah.
Countries like El Salvador and the Philippines have no comparable prosperity. Finally, why do more devoutly Christian societies have higher poverty and violent crime than more secularized Christian ones? Therefore, it's far from clear that Christianity is the secret sauce to scientific and economic progress. But there's a deeper problem. Mixing traditional and secular values never works. It's like mixing paint and paint thinner. Whenever societies try to combine traditional and secular values,
Omni said it the best. He's arguing against Western civilization, not Christianity. Fact.
Traditional values get abandoned. This is actually what has happened in the West, which was deeply Christian 200 years ago, but now has become the center of atheism and secular decay. This didn't happen overnight. This happened because Christians 150 years ago tried to mix traditional Christianity with the secular idea of progress. This happens because traditional values are based on duties. Preserving religion requires imposing shape in Western society.
Muslim Christianity is totally. Good job, man.
Look at that. You guys know, Andrew. He looks like that shark on Finding Nemo when Dory hit her nose and the friggin' blood just. Ooh yeah, you know.
Like a viper waiting
Bruce,
to strike.
Bruce.
One thing about debate is you get to actually get in
You guys know who has the best predator face? Like the best I'm gonna get you face is Douglas Murray. Oh, when you step in it, Douglas Murray, he looks like a fox that's gonna go into a hen house.
He's a gay guy, if you didn't know, like a lot of people. He is like savage.
It's so funny when someone says something stupid and he's listening when you just see his face. He's got that like
the best line I ever heard him say was just like, "I'm not part of the queer community, you stupid sod."
Yeah.
mind of your opponent. What? What happened?
Bunch of pinheads.
It's far weaker on.
End of debate.
Oh.
Wow.
The fun thing about debate is you get to.
Right there.
All of our progress, guys.
He KO'd him in 2 seconds.
I know, dude.
It was 1,000 words, guys.
When I saw this, I immediately thought of Bloodsport, where he was like, Brick don't hit back.
Yeah, don't hit back. Yeah, guys.
Flawless victory.
Actually get in the mind of your opponent. You get to study
and
dissect the things that they say and believe. After watching Daniel for hours, a few things became obvious. The first, he's a far better Muslim apologist than I am a Christian apologist, that's for sure. But he's far weaker on politics than myself and the nature of the world. The second is that he's an above average debater, but he ain't quite God tier.
Yeah.
See, if I were Daniel and fighting from his worldview, I'd point out Christianity is fractured and weak, that Christianity is totally incapable of fighting back against the degeneracy of our time. Its impotence has led to social categories of degeneracy at levels nobody could have predicted, especially with the advent of the internet. I would point out Muslim societies don't work that way, that Muslims have feminism and degens under control, that everything in modern day Christians in the West are fighting for against degeneracy, Islam has already achieved in their lands. That's what I would do if I were Daniel. When talking about which is better for society, Islam or Christianity, this becomes a powerful argument. But I'd go a step further if I were Daniel. I'd also say my opponent will argue like an atheist progressive, that Andrew Wilson, the guy who promotes anti-feminist and egalitarian doctrine, is going to sit up here and act like an egalitarian progressive and cry about Islam being mean to the women and cry about Islam not being very nice to the gays. Well, you were fucking wrong. Sadly for Daniel, while this tactic would normally be effective against a sewing circle Christian, I'm not part of that cast, sir. Now, let me get into my argument for why Christianity makes better societies than Islam, and it's pretty simple. Islamic societies breed an inbred population. Next slide, please. Muslim inbreeding has been occurring at a high rate for about 1,400 years since the early Islamic period.
I love the bullet points. I love how everything about this, it looks like it's literally like notes on a piece of paper that he just took. You know, and this is in underlined. And it's just so snarky. Like everything about this is so great.
Encompassing most of the land still occupied by Islam today. It spread from the 8th to the 15th century, moved into Persia, North Africa, South Asia, where it remains and has created some of the dumbest fucking human beings on planet Earth. The most common type of inbreeding is first cousin marriage. The rates of first cousin marriage in comparison to Christian nations is staggeringly high, even in comparison to regions occupied by Arab Christians. When a nation has both Christians and Muslims, Muslims are often double or higher than Christians. Example, India, Lebanon. Next slide, please. Muslim inbreeding. Oh, sorry about that. Pakistan at 65%. 65%, meaning more likely than not.
Guys, the reason why they have to keep this information is because just like the Amish, guys, you guys know that the Amish had to work with the federal government to like help them exchange members through different communities because there were so many genetic diseases going on in their communities.
Yeah.
So the Amish work with the CDC and NIH. And so what happened was that the CDC wanted to actually look at their DNA because they can trace their DNA back so far. And like, it's good to look at DNA that's been kind of
stagnant,
not stagnant, but isolated, you know. And then they say, hey, well, there's this community in Washington State or in Oklahoma, and you're in Pennsylvania, so we'll help you guys all coordinate in Canada or whatever, right? And they've managed to actually like have a more diverse population, you know. So
you're having sex with your cousin, and if you're not, you're the weird one. Okay. For the low IQ members of MDD, that means these people are more likely than not having sex with their aunts or uncles' children.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's like in the UK. They have public service things, guys, about please don't bang your cousins. Hold on, PSA for inbreeding.
So
in
the
UK.
inbreeding problem has gotten so bad in the UK, they've actually had to do like government. And guess what? It's not English people banging their cousins.
Yeah, I'll find it, guys. There's a PSA where it was like, please don't do this.
But
Please
AJ,
don't.
My cousin is hot as hell.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's like that quote. If anybody's going to have sex with my sister, it's going to
be me.
Saudi Arabia, 50 to 58%, with an average 76 IQ. Who would have thought it?
76 IQ is Forrest Gump. You know what I'm saying? I'm straight up.
Borderline retarded.
Yeah.
AE, 54%, 82 IQ. The crown jewel of the Arab world, you are more likely than not to be banging your first cousin. Iran, 40%, 80 IQ. Yemen, 45%, 62.9 IQ. Qatar, 30%, 80.8 IQ. Now, we're going to continue, right? Oman, 36%, 78.
Look at that, guys.
Syria, 39%, 74 IQ. Turkey, 25%, 86 IQ.
Guys, this means, like, think about the worst methed out rural Cletus hellhole and then the worst, hood with nug. Guys, they're like 20 points smarter than these idiots. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious, guys. Baltimore, kids in Baltimore are like 15, 20 points smarter than these knuckleheads.
One of the most couldn't teach anything useful to these people if you spent 10 years with them.
Yeah.
This is how stupid these people are.
Yeah. Yep.
One of the best scenes that I saw about Baltimore was The Wire, where they were trying to teach the kids math, but when they broke it down to the package and breaking it up and cutting it,
Yeah.
these kids, like, it was like mathematical magic.
Yeah. There's a thing. It said we teaching kids the metric system since
Yeah.
my house.
Jordan, 32%, 80 IQ. Egypt, 32%, 76 IQ. It goes on and on and on, and it just
look at this. Florida 59 IQ, 59.8. Guys, that's baseball. That's
Yeah.
never gets better. Next slide, please.
Cooked. You're
Thank
cooked.
you. Compared to Christian countries, let's take a look. Usually less than 1%.
Wait, AJ, go
Now
back.
I wonder
I'm trying to
why
plan my
Christians
next
feel
trip.
32%, 76 IQ. Pull up the slide here. Moving right along. As countries become more Christian, inbreeding declines. Right? We can see this from church intervention in Spain, 20 to 30% post Reconquista. Catholic Church banned cousin marriages for commoners. Papal dispensations sold for royals.
Look at that, guys. He's cooked. Do you see him? He's cooked. He has no rebuttal for this. He's none. He's like, shit. Like, sorry. I try to not swear, but guys, look at how uncomfortable he looks. He's like, oh my, he knows he's cooked. He knows it.
My religion is full of retards.
Similar high rates in the medieval period. The church enforced bans over the century. France, high medieval. Canon law prohibited marriage within 4 degrees of relation. Modern Western Europe, it's not just the cultural norm, but let me tell you exactly how much of a cultural norm it is. Even in European nations where marrying your first cousin is legal, they don't do it because of the ecclesiology. Isn't that wild? Africa shows the more Christians and less Muslim the societies become, the better they do. Let's just take a look at Nigeria. Okay, we can go down the list here. 50% Nigeria, 20 to 30% first cousin marriage. Isn't that crazy? Now let's move right on down. You can see South Africa, Muslim 1.5%, very low on to negligible in the national prevalence of cousin fucking. You can look at the list. It's pretty comprehensive. We can continue to go, right? The bottom 20 least productive sub-Saharan African countries. Wouldn't you know it? They're all Muslim. 99% Muslim in Somalia. Very high. 60% first cousins. Anybody ever hear a joke about Somalian IQ? No. Let's look over at Niger. 99% Muslim. 60% cousin marriage. First cousin marriage. Let's take a look at Muslims when we're taking a look at Malil. It's a 90% population. High cousin marriage. In other words, everywhere Islam goes, the IQ goes like this because they all are fucking their cousins. Not joking. Go over to
cooked.
Kind of
cooked.
Joking.
Cooked. Guys, rate this guy on the right on the cooked-o-meter, guys.
It's over 9,000.
Now, guys, everyone stop here. Now, it's at this point, this guy could offer his hand and say, Andrew, I concede. But guys, do you think he's going to do that?
Of course not.
He could also renounce Islam right there. That would
yeah. He'd be like, yeah, you know what? This is retarded.
Yeah. Here, say another word, Anonymous. Don't use the R word. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, are you mental or something?
Are you mental? Yeah.
No. What do you guys say? Spastic.
You say mental.
Yeah.
You guys say spastic. Yeah.
To the next slide, please. I want to show you this is a famous case. These are called the rat people of Pakistan. It's a condition known as microphalics. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I have no idea. And it's caused by excessive inbreeding. When's the last time you went to a European country and saw that? You don't see it. Inbreed, yeah. Now,
the
hang on. Next
16th
slide, please.
century.
As we continue, let's just take a look here at the casual link between cousin humping and low IQ. Basically, there's increased homozygosity. I think that's how it's pronounced, for deleterious recessive genes. And it is the strongest causal
meaning bad genes are going to start coming out.
Link for why the IQs are so low. Genetic risk. Inbreeding raises the chances of inheriting 2 copies of harmful recessive genes. Brain development impact. Harmful.
Guys, we have 80 people watching. We have 42 likes. No, 47 likes. Guys, stop. Take a second. Hit the like button, guys. Hit the subscribe button, guys. I am trying to hit 29,000 subs, guys. We are trying to end the year at 30 or 31K, guys. So let's make sure you are subscribed. Hit the super chat button, guys. $1 or $2 helps. Appreciate that.
Genes can impair neurodevelopment, reducing cognitive potential. IQ reduction evidence. First cousin offspring lose 3 to 4 points on average, and closer inbreeding can cause larger deficits. They've been at it for 1,400 years. Ooh. Higher prevalence equals greater risk. Populations with widespread cousin marriage show more individuals with lower cognitive performance. Generational compounding over successful generations. Harmful genes accumulate. One of the big Muslim copes you'll hear from Daniel tonight. Well, it's only 1.5% for genetic problems for normal people who aren't having sex with their first cousin. Well, that's true. He says it only doubles to 3%. That's very low. No, it compounds. See, if you hump your first cousin and then those kids hump their first cousin and their kids are et cetera down the line, guess what happens to your IQ? Guess what? You'll never guess. Anybody got a guess? It goes down. The negative consequences of a low IQ. 80 IQ versus 100 IQ person.
And everywhere I went, I was running.
I always think of Sling Blade.
I know, right? Some of them fried taters.
Yeah, well, it ain't got no gas in it.
Income 50 to 70% lower. Welfare dependency 4 to 6 times higher. Literacy less than 10.
That's why the UK and France are hurting right now, guys. All of this, it has to be paid for right here, guys.
Yes.
This slide sums it up better than anyone else. The UK, Swedish, Dutch taxpayers are having to pay for millions of people that have all of this going on. What a joke!
Who will never get better. They will just be a
constant
drain.
Well, I was going to say,
society.
It's going to put an extra strain on the medical system.
Medical everything.
Yeah. And guys,
seeing
the craziest part,
housing, everything.
Guys, it annoys me that I am black and black people don't see where this migrant stuff is going. Guys, us blacks in Europe and in Canada and the UK, we are the first hit by this migrant stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Our communities get decimated. The gangs get in there. You know what I'm saying? All violence comes to our communities first.
Yep.
You guys, blacks in the UK are 3.5% of the population. So, and a lot of them just got there, 2 generations ago? So what are they doing? Just letting these people in? It makes no sense.
10% at less than 85 IQ. Obesity up almost 2 times. Chronic disease up almost 2.5 times. Life expectancy less than 70 IQ or 75 IQ down 5 to 10 years. Why? Because, well, you might just look down the barrel of that shotgun when you're cleaning it. Moving over. Arrests and incarcerations 3 to 8 times higher. Violent offenses 4 to 6 times higher. Teen pregnancy 3 times higher.
Doesn't that sound like what's going on in Europe right now, guys?
Weird.
Isn't that crazy, guys? Are you telling me that they're actually incarcerated 3 to 8 times more, right? Commit more violent crimes? Guys, it's so bad that people would prefer Nug to these knuckleheads. Guys, if you ask most people, they will take Nug over Nug 11 any day.
Yeah.
Hey-o! ElectronZap.com. What's going on, my friend? Guys, I want to stop and thank Electron Zap, Rajai, you know what I'm saying? They were in my first like 50 subs, Steve. I think my first 50 to 100 subs. Guys, go to Electron Zap's YouTube channel. Drop him a sub, please. One of the mods, can you please drop his channel link? Guys, he's all about like electric work and circuits and all that other stuff.
Oh, nice.
I would say that if I would have had him as a teacher in school, I'd be doing that for a living and not have gone to college. So yeah, guys. So guys, check his channel out. Show him some love. I appreciate you. Electron Zap, man. Thanks for that.
Neglect and abuse 3 to 7 times higher. Intergenerational poverty 4 to 6 times. Almost every study available shows that IQ entering the low 80s, Muslim countries, affects nearly every aspect of life in a negative way. Economic prospects, criminality, mental, physical health, happiness metrics, and both at the individual and societal level. In fact, study shows that when a country has a sub 90 IQ average, they find it difficult to have basic innovation, infrastructure, professional class, and other basic needs of a functional society. Is that sounding familiar yet? Now, here's the thing that's interesting. Modern societies don't require everyone to be a genius. Just look at me. But they do rely on a distribution of abilities, and you can see their roles below. 70 to 85, basic job, practical skills, routine.
Yeah, guys, this is the thing about people that truly believe in capitalism, because not everyone's going to make it. Not everyone's going to be rich and should be rich, right? Guys, someone has to be the greeter at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? The whole fast food jobs, guys. Fast food is supposed to be a way as a young person to make some money while you're moving on to something else.
Yep.
You know? So
labor, that's Islam. That's almost every Islamic nation, ladies and gentlemen, 70 to 85.
I can never say your name right. Time Cat. Yeah. You've been a sub for a long time too, man. You know, thanks for the support, man. Appreciate you, man.
Sometimes up to 2 standard deviations lower. Whew. 85 to 100 would be skilled labor administrative support, 100 to 115 professional middle management, 115 to 130 engineer, scientist, doctors, specialized roles.
You guys, do you see now why most women are here in the middle? Because there's more women that have the average IQ than men, right? Men are either like here, or here, whereas most women are like in the top half
somewhere.
Yeah, in skilled labor professionals, but men can be dumb as a box of rocks, above average smart, or super smart. So like
that's
women,
why most prisoners are men.
Yeah. Women goes like this in the arch, and then men go like this, like that. So
that's why most engineers and people like that are men.
Yep, that's true.
The things they desperately need that they get from us. 130 plus innovation, leadership, high level problem solving. Next slide, please. Inbreeding itself over generations causes massively.
And the thing is, guys, most men of all races, guys, think about back in the 50s, the 40s, the 30s, right? The 60s. Well, I would say post-World War II boom. Blacks, Asians, Hispanics, most men were going to college, graduating from high school, and getting really good jobs, right? That's because America itself focused on education, right? IQ is not necessarily a race thing, it's a culture thing. That's why you see Nigerians outperform almost everyone except Asians. Nigerians, Indians, and Koreans earn the most money, and small hats, right? Now, over the past 40 years, certain communities haven't focused on education, right? But when my mom was young, all of my mom's siblings, even though they were raised in rural Alabama, right? They all went on to, my mom's one of 12. All of her siblings went to really good colleges and do really, 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 really well. everyone that my mom knows, and they grew up on a farm in Alabama. So
For administrative support, 100 to 115, professional, middle management, 115 to 130, engineers, scientists, doctors, specialized roles, the things they desperately need that they get from us. 130 plus, innovation, leadership, high-level problem solving. Next slide, please. Inbreeding itself over generations causes massively compounds that lead to negative consequences. And you can see the risk curve there. You see how the genetic defect.
This guy, I hope that you're trolling, dude, because you honestly think Andrew lost this debate. Hey, bro. How long was that boat ride to the UK, bro?
Yeah.
And just so you know, AJ, he did a stream that was twice as long as the debate to explain stuff. I didn't watch it, but he did a stream twice as long to kind of what you said, explain how he won.
Guys, anyone who thinks Andrew Wilson lost, they must have slipped off the boat on that beach in the UK and hit their head on a rock.
Well, that last dude was his cousin. His wife.
Oh no, I think so, dude. I think so.
Crazy.
Oh
Or
no,
a goat named
dude,
Sarah.
Oh, no.
Increase every single generation.
And I love this guy. This guy saying that I'm low IQ, but he's listening to my stream right now.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, I think that your cousin's got a plate of falafel for you waiting in there.
Moving over. I just want to point this out on the last slide. Islam took an ethnic people that were at the heart of being the top of civilization. And through generations of Islam and inbreeding has turned them into the...
Hey guys, if you're going to troll, at least be clever. You know what I'm saying? like it's not even... Anyone who says Andrew Wilson lost this debate is dense. You know what I'm saying? There is no arguing this. This is one of the worst, facts, data, statistics, all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Lowest IQ, some of the stupidest people on planet Earth. Literally. You think I'm being mean? I'm not. They're literally some of the stupidest people on planet Earth. Everywhere Islam goes, inbreeding increases and societies become worse. Where Christianity goes, inbreeding decreases, so societies do better in almost every material way. Let's just point out here, as I wrap this up. 1 second.
Hey,
So it's clear here that my argument summary.
What's up, dude?
I just had a question, more of a statement. Is the Muslim guy here is talking about degeneracy.
Yeah.
This is literal degeneracy.
Yes.
This is literally degeneracy of society.
But see, he didn't. But see, again, with these people, it comes down to definitions. He just doesn't define it as degeneracy.
Facts. Yep.
There's moral degeneracy, which is the blue haired freaks, right? But then there's physical degeneracy.
Yeah.
Which I would say is arguably worse.
These are the people that have this moral, a relativism. Guys, there are people out there who think that it's white supremacy to say that some cultures are better than others. Guys, everyone on this panel and everyone in this chat, we are comfortable with saying that some cultures are just outright better than others.
Doesn't mean they can't get better. Doesn't mean they can't change.
Yes, but any culture that does to women what they do in the Middle East, not good. What they do to little kids, not good. Stoning gays, not good. Guys, we can agree that any place where they cut women's genital parts off is not as if our values are superior. But the left, they don't want to seem like they're discriminating or whatever, so they won't even
think that everything is relative.
Yes. And guys, right here, this is the coup de grace, right here. This next 5 minutes is the coup de grace. This is when he he literally wraps the bat in friggin' barbed wire like Negan. Friggin' Walking Dead, dude. He's gonna knock him out with it.
Surprise, though this isn't its entirety, is that Islam creates huge societies with large swaths of people with IQs so collectively low they would be considered developmentally challenged, borderline retarded here in the West. Not kidding. Due to this side effect, force doctrine becomes the order of the day.
Force doctrine, let's go.
Because the technological difference and capabilities of each people group is so vastly different, think Apollo mission compared to Starship Enterprise, Islam must literally bank on the benevolence of Christians to not wipe them off the face of planet Earth.
Let's go. Now, guys, think about that for a second, right?
Well, I'd also like to. I'd also like to just to point out, like, you know, when there were all of those Muslims that were fleeing Syria, did they go to other Islamic countries?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
They sought to go to Europe, you know?
Yeah,
so
true.
like these people, they're not even consistent with how they see themselves.
That's true. Guys,
And guess
think
what
about
else? Egypt threw up a fence to keep them out.
Yeah, think about the collective military power of the West versus the collective military power of the Islamic world. This is what he's basically saying, is that the West is men, how men could just throw women in cages. If we wanted to, guys, what would stop the West from just bombing those areas into oblivion? They are relying on our benevolence. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, I'll give you another example. So right now there's a huge water crisis in Iran.
Yeah.
Do you want to know where you don't see that? There are other Christian areas that are also in the desert like Iran. You don't see the same problems there because they've learned how to manage their resources.
Yeah, true.
They are basically the feminists of the East, totally reliant on the goodwill and benevolence of global Christianity, not to just not exterminate them.
Cooked.
Okay? And take their resources, always appealing to the mightier force for their existence and the benevolence of that very people group who Daniel today is arguing doesn't make better societies, which is a laughable proposition. Even absent the degeneracy of a people group must be able to competently defend itself or bank on the benevolence of the people group, which can. And almost everybody's going to prefer the society that can.
Guys, isn't it funny? He is right. Because, guys, didn't we have Desert Storm, Desert Shield, right? All these things because Kuwait couldn't defend itself. We had to go in there, and Kuwait has all that oil. But like Matt said, only a small group of people benefit from that oil. Everyone else lives in abject poverty. So guess what? They're cooked.
I just want to give you just a real quick insert here. So like in Operation Desert Storm 2, which was in 2003, it took us 23 days to remove that regime. It was not a problem.
Pathetic.
Not a problem.
Yeah,
so a lot of
true.
chest thumping. There's no substance behind it when it comes to the Muslims and their military prowess.
Facts.
They're rather terrible at war.
Yeah. Yep.
Imagine the irony here of arguing against the very Christians you find inadequate morally, yet bank on their moral benevolence to not wipe your low IQ fucking asses off the face of planet Earth.
Guys, he did not think that this was going to be his angle of attack at all. Just look at how uncomfortable he looks, guys. His butt cheeks are all clenched. He's all sweating, Guys,
this is how you
Wilson,
deal with it. This
guys,
is honestly how you deal with this.
Yeah. Look at this, guys. Andrew Wilson, guys.
City boy!
Cook!
Now you know why I said it was painful to watch.
Thank you very much for that opening as well. I wanted to take a moment to say streaming any footage other than if it's TikTok length, that's fine. But we're going to kick it into 5-minute rebuttals.
All right.
First with Daniel,
Let's
the floor
see
is all yours.
what this dunderhead has to say.
So
This
this
guy's
falls
praying for Muhammad to
exactly into
reappear.
what I predicted. You argue.
Electron Zap says he was using AI the entire time. Is this inbreeding fact true? Yes, it
AI
is.
laughing at him.
Is low IQ bad? Yes, it is. You must have low IQ.
Yeah.
Am I cooked? Yes, you
Yeah.
are cooked.
Your name is Muhammad. You're cooked.
Yeah.
Used
Praise
like
be upon
a
him.
libtard.
How is that? Look, guys, he's still trying to okay, guys.
Look at Andrew's face.
No, because okay. He's still gonna go on like Andrew responded the way that he anticipated him to.
Yeah, he's scripting it.
He's scripting it. That's
Yeah.
even worse. And guys, he should have just taken his little paper, and just thrown it out and just started winging it, shooting from the hip.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Look at that.
This falls into exactly what I predicted. You argued like a libtard. How?
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
You're saying that success is on the basis of IQ. Well, how are you going to argue tomorrow when you debate with an atheist that Christian IQ is higher than secular atheist IQ? In fact, the atheist IQ is much higher than Christian IQ. So your entire
But the Christian decline has been recent, you dumb.
Yeah.
In the last, 30, 40 years? You know what I'm saying? And
That's also not the purview of this debate.
Yes. And
this debate
guys,
is not about atheism. It's between
Yes.
Christianity and Islam.
yes. And guys, here's the thing too. The United States is still majority Christian. Canada is too. The West is still majority Christian in a lot of these areas, you know? And trust me, guys, I'm not religious, right? So I don't have a dog in this fight.
higher standard for judging Islam applies just as much to Christianity. And tomorrow, when you're debating the atheist, you'll have to concede that your Christian religion is associated or correlated with lower IQ. Therefore, atheism or secularism is better for society because it raises IQ. So that's one point.
Look at
Point
Andrew's
number
face.
two.
Dude, he's so cooked. He's so cooked. I almost had
We
to
just know
pull
what to
over.
say.
'Cause he's so cooked.
This is the very moment where, like, Sun Tzu's quote, don't interrupt your enemies when they're making a mistake.
Yes.
Yeah, right here.
Guys,
face.
I was driving while I was listening to this, and I almost had to pull over because I was like, this guy is not. I was laughing so hard. This guy is just cooked.
Where in the Bible does it restrict cousin marriage? This, as you acknowledged, is a later papal decree. It was not a
which means that it's part of the church. You dumb. For Catholic and Orthodoxy, whatever. If the church says it, it goes. It's part of religious canon. You dumb.
part of Jesus's teachings. Jesus didn't come out and say, "Hey, if you
look at that," and guys now, hey, well, Jesus didn't say to not bang your cousins, so we should be able to bang our cousins. Yeah, that's a great thing.
This way after, like, Jesus was around, right? There was a genetic study 2,000 years ago.
But Anonymous, it wasn't about studying though. If you, Orthodoxy, the Catholics, the clergy make these proclamations that the petitioners have to follow.
Yeah,
they are the authority of the church.
These things come to light from study, from like people discover things, right? And it's like because the whole point of like with the clergy and things is to try and guide.
Anonymous, can you come closer?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. So it's like trying to guide your flock to like in a good direction, right? And it's like that's a bad direction if you're in charge of a flock of people.
Yeah,
be like, marry your cousin.
Yeah.
You want to have a successful society.
In the audience, I do want to ask you to keep it down so we can hear the speaker.
Jesus didn't say, "Oh, hey, if you want success and you want to have a prosperous society, you shouldn't marry your cousin." Jesus never had this apparently essential Christian teaching that is the key to success on earth. That's your whole argument against Islam, and it's found nowhere in Jesus's teachings. It's found nowhere in the early church fathers.
Of course.
So like Jesus did not say specifically wipe out all of the Muslims when he was alive. Why didn't
Yeah.
he say this?
He also said, "Don't lay down with beasts."
Well, hold on, but he said don't wipe out all of the Muslims. Why didn't he say this? Because
it
the
didn't
Muslims
exist.
didn't exist yet.
Yeah.
Right? That's the whole idea behind the evolutionary nature of the church in its canons, right? That's why you're adopting this old thing for modern times. That's the problem that abrogation is representing in Islam today.
Yeah.
It can't adapt.
Well, Islam's quite a modern religion compared to everyone else.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
but its interpretations are not.
Yeah.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It's held in place by its doctrines.
Yeah, and it prides itself on not changing.
Evolving.
Yep.
Because Muhammad was
Teaching.
he was a warlord.
This is something that came later.
Yes.
And also, when it was decreed that cousin marriage is considered to be incest, it wasn't on the basis of IQ. This is something that you have adopted from who? From atheists, from secularists, from those who are doing secular science to discover these medical problems or IQ levels. So your entire
Oh, so it's the secularists and their secular non-God science that shows that
How does he know
huge
that?
swathes of the world are filled with Forrest Gump level tards because of the religion. Okay.
But wait a minute. Is he presupposing that no scientists are Christians?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
That sounds like it. Yeah, but he would even say that because they aren't Muslims, that their science doesn't matter either. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
literally
So,
he's screaming heresy.
yeah. So
standard for judging Islam is not a Christian standard. It's not a biblical standard. It's not an Orthodox church standard. This is coming only from atheists, from atheistic science. Second of all, if IQ is such end all be all, Christian societies, if you bring up a country list of countries by IQ, many Christian countries are on the bottom there. I don't know if you consider them to be true Christians because they're not white, but they're also at 80 IQ, 70 IQ. Look at sub-Saharan Africa, look at Latin America, look at the Philippines. It's also comparable with Muslim countries. Do you consider them to be Christians or not? Also, go back to the Middle Ages. IQ was much lower in the Middle Ages in Christian societies. Why that has changed is because of the Flynn effect. IQ has increased globally over the world, across the world, because of the Flynn effect. So if you have a problem, again, with lower IQ, look at medieval or Middle Age Christian societies. And also, here's another big problem.
I don't even understand how he got
IQ is
there.
also linked with race. So
Most
if you
people are
want to
stupid, so I'm
prioritize
gonna
high
use it in my
IQ,
argument.
you should discourage interbreeding between races. Why should higher average IQ from Asians or whites or Jews or whatever race that has a higher average IQ, Christianity encourages or allows interbreeding between the races? That will result in a lower IQ. So you should be against that because that's going to, over time, lower the average IQ of society. So that should be something that you need to oppose to be consistent. Interracial marriage or interracial breeding should be contrary to your point or contrary to your position.
What?
He's grasping at
Also,
straws.
He's grasping, dude.
yeah, I mean, I'm just shocked that your entire argument about
look, he's good. See, he has nothing. Guys, he ran out of gas, right? Guys, his brain crashed into a wall.
He was saying, so he was saying like the like the Christians they don't talk about like IQ and all this kind of stuff, right? It's like, and then they like the Christian heads that I suppose, I'm not sure what the leaders would be called, but they said like, oh, that they started proposing all of these rules, and it's like there's a line I remember in the Bible that says whatever you hold to on earth, I will hold to in heaven.
Yeah.
And it's like if someone on earth comes up with a concept, it's like, who's part of the clergy or whatever, they will hold to it in heaven.
Yeah.
This guy literally said that we should blame Christian and white societies because of the Flynn effect. And after the Middle Ages, other cultures got smarter. So it's because those other areas got smarter that everybody else just looks dumb. That was his argument. That was literally what he said.
And he was talking about
that is the most
Dark
jackass way, roundabout way of blaming everything on everybody else.
Well, I mean, doesn't that sound like something that would come out of his mouth? You know what I mean? And guys, just this kind of hesitation, like nervous laugh that he just did, he's cooked.
Christianity is better than Islam is a cousin marriage argument. That's like shocking because it just works.
Look at that. He sounds like a beta friggin' pro LDHD TV arguer, right? He's like, well, you know, Kamala Harris, right? Like, doesn't he sound like that? Right?
Well,
like, come on.
I mean, Andrew Wilson's argument was shocking. It was shocking to him because he didn't see it coming.
Yep.
It is shocking. Like, that's the first time I've seen someone actually bring up this point. Like, I think it's a very valid point.
Yeah.
But it's also what I meant by, you know, like I said, Andrew set the frame. Like he literally took a shovel, dug the hole, stood back, and said, "Come on, step on in."
No. He looked like Arnold on Predator. I'm here. Kill me. Do it. Kill me now. And then the log comes down on the Predator. Yeah, that's what he
go far against you. So if IQ is the end all be all of what makes a society good, then Christianity loses to atheism and secularism. Like case closed.
No,
so like
that's all he has. You guys noticed that they gave him 5 minutes? Hold on, guys, that they gave him 5 minutes, and guys, he had like a minute or 2 minutes worth of material because he's cooked. He literally thought that this was gonna go another way. He was playing checkers, Andrew's playing chess, he's cooked.
Many Christian societies are low IQ, as in the same way as certain Muslim countries.
That's a good
thing. The thing about the difference between me and you is my values are based on marriage, family, traditional values of that nature, not atheistic values of IQ and intelligence.
We're going to jump into Andrew's rebuttal as well. The timer is set for you. 5 minutes.
Look at Andrew. He just knows he's already won, guys. This is like, you guys know how like in football games, if you're up like 45 points, they start to, you know, like you're just cooked. So the last
the
like
number of players that you're allowed to play with.
They have like the third and fourth stringers out there. Hey, get in there. Yeah, coach, I'm gonna play in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So
libtard value. Don't fuck your first cousin. Libtard. Let me just point out that Daniel Kikikachu didn't actually rebut any of my arguments. Not a single one. My argument was simple, I'll repeat it here again. The argument is that your society has to rely on the benevolence of mind to exist because of your general IQ. You see, remember how I told you the 70 to 85 is basic jobs, practical skills, routine labor? That's most Muslim societies, sir. Doesn't matter if you point out two exceptions to the rule. Even in those societies in which Christians have a lower IQ, guess what you find? Their interbreeding rates are going down, and when you compare them to the same Arab population where they're inbreeding, that section of the population, the IQ is always lower. So what's my argument here? My argument is that Christian societies are better because they lower inbreeding, which collectively takes your IQ so far down the rabbit trail that you end up having to beg the higher IQ individuals for protection from them.
He's right.
You have to bank on their benevolence. Imagine this guy is banking on the benevolence of Christians who have a high enough IQ to basically eradicate all of the Middle East. There's nothing they can do about it. And they're banking on that benevolence while telling you all that you're immoral. You're immoral. This is not an atheist argument. Far and away. Well, the argument here is based around what it is that we're discussing. And what are we discussing? Which makes for better societies.
Exactly. What makes society better? Better. Period. Even if you can say that these countries that were mostly Christian 70 years ago, their journey was mostly Christian and led them to this point, and to where, yes, the secularism might be taking over, but you can't deny the however many hundreds of years, right, where that Christianity kicked in. You know what I'm saying? You just can't. So
AJ, all about establishing laws that we've had, if like apart from like 5-10 years ago with all these crazy bluehead people, right?
Yep.
They were all based on Christian theology, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's all based on those laws.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Christianity or Islam.
And
How can you claim you have better?
Even though we have a separation of church and state, guys, you have to admit that your beliefs inform your actions.
Yeah.
We live in a society where the majority of people's Christian beliefs inform their actions and decisions. Even though we don't have a state religion, guys, you know, even though at any point any of the states themselves can still declare a statewide religion, that's legal, right? But
no, it is not.
The states can't. So like California,
no, they cannot. They
really?
Cannot declare a state. No.
Was it the colonies then that
the colonies used to have? So there was a time in colonial America that if you were a Baptist, you would get rocks thrown at you. The colonies had specific religions in and of themselves, but the Constitution, the federal Constitution, is religion neutral, and the states have to follow that guideline in their state constitutions. And
Europe's
some
always
states
been
have been
different. Like England has like things with Protestants and Catholics.
The monarch in England is the head of the Anglican Church.
Yeah.
Thanks to Henry VIII.
Well, Henry VIII, he invented the religion, so he
he was basically Bender. You know, I'll start my own church with hookers and blood.
Yeah, screw you.
Yeah. But no, you cannot have an official religion of a state.
So states could have a religion until the 14th Amendment passed.
Right.
And that was June 8th, 1866.
And I wouldn't say they could have. So the amendment was an end around because technically the state constitutions were able to get away with not having to abide by the federal constitution. And so that's what the passage of that amendment did, is it tied up a loophole.
Yeah.
But the intent was always that the United States would be non-sectarian.
Do you think I was going to ask
but non-sectarian and not having, that's two different things. Oh, we'll argue it in the Discord because I don't want to get down.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I want to say one thing for the chat. Tell me, chat, and I want you to put a 1 in it. Where else can you go
come
and have this
closer.
type of conversation?
Share my microphone.
Oh, can you hear me? I'm too close.
Come a little closer.
So, chat.
Better.
I want you to put a 1 in the chat right now. Where else can you go? We have literally been on this stream and we've discussed critical thinking. We discussed the U.S. Constitution. We discussed we discussed World War. This has been an amazing stream.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, you know,
Societies.
I like these topics more. We'll actually go over more debates. Guys, I don't debate. I just don't. I don't have the patience for it. You know, people go, "Oh, AJ, you know, you're." I just can't debate. Like, if I was Andrew, I'd be like, "Bro, dude, you are an idiot. What are you talking about?" And guys, he corners him more and more. And at some point, I would just look at him and just be like, "You, sir, are as dumb as you look." You know,
I sent you a video, by the way, in the private chat. I don't know it sums up the debate, in my opinion.
Guys, hold on.
He's already dead.
When half of your societies are so inbred, their IQs are like borderline retarded. How could this possibly be of benefit? And you know what they do when they go to other countries? They keep doing it.
Yeah.
They keep doing it. Now he says, well, if you value IQ more than all other values, who said anything about that? The debate is not about that. It's about which makes for better societies. Now, which society would you rather live in? Would you rather live in a society of donkey pull cart? Right? Donkey pull cart? Because we're not smart. Enough to make car. We're not smart enough to even have infrastructure because we're at 70 IQ, 80 IQ, borderline retarded individuals. That's a society. Who's moving there? Who's moving? Nobody. They're all moving here. Why? Because they want the societies that Christians have.
Look at him, guys.
Yeah.
He's trying to get Chat GPT on his thing. Guys, this is the face of a defeated man.
By the way, let me point a couple.
Hold up. Something I should have that any one of us should have pointed out earlier, and that is, I would ask this clown, why the hell are you in the United States?
Yeah. Why do you live here? Yep, leave. Bye. Yep, that's true.
If you like that so much, go.
Yeah,
I would gladly help chip in to fly him to the country he would want to reside.
I'll pay first class.
Yeah, let's trade him for Anonymous. Guys, put a 1.
I couldn't do that to Canada. That's mean.
Yes, their IQs are much higher, much higher. Even in non-white areas, they're much higher, sir, because they don't inbreed. And it's very frowned upon. Go figure. And interestingly enough, let me just point this out, that Christians have a much smarter enemy. You're right. They do have a high IQ. You need high IQ people to combat that with these values. Islam can make no inroads. They don't have the technology. They can't mount an invasion. They can't even make a fucking power plant. Right? How are they going to do that? Daniel, what's your big plan? His big plan is to bank on the fact that there's enough suicidal empathy in the West to keep on importing Muslims. That's about it.
Damn, look at that, guys. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Dude, that's it. He's right.
Letting the barbarians through the gates.
Exactly. Look at that.
That could be his only plan. These people can't make armies. That requires massive organization and mobilization. You think that these people could ever attack the West? That's a laughable prospect. He started with Zionism. He has 10 million Jews in his backyard. They can't do shit about it. Nothing.
They cannot.
1 billion versus 10 million. They can't do anything. They launched their entire missile payload. It does nothing because of the IQ difference in these regions. The IQ difference is so wide that if they even tried to collectivize, it would still be done, and they know it. And they can't collectivize anyway because it requires a high enough IQ to follow orders.
Yeah.
Okay? So
donkey?
Yeah.
That's my argument. My argument basically is very simple. You have to have a high enough IQ to have a society to begin with. Christians make it by lowering everywhere they go. You fucking your family members. My God. Back to you, Daniel.
You meant Muslims.
Is that?
Jeez.
You guys know what you mean.
Christians are at the mercy.
Here we go.
Christians are at the mercy of higher IQ atheists. Christians are at the mercy of higher IQ Ashkenazi Jews. Christians are at the mercy of China and Asia. If you want to make a might makes right argument, then we're in the same boat, buddy. Muslims and Christians are closer together in the same boat compared to
what is this guy
smoking? I don't see Jews going around doing T-word attacks.
Dude, I just what's his dealer's name? Straight up, dude, because he must be on that good stuff. He's serious, guy.
These other groups. So this is a self-defeating argument. Also, AI is going to eliminate this so-called advantage of IQ. AI is
You've been hacked. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
Is he gonna put this point across that he's gonna we're gonna let Skynet do
all guys? Amos says I agree with Andrew, but the other guy could counter that. If the IQ is so high in the West, why are they allowing? Because Andrew said that it's self-defeating empathy.
Because we have so many women in higher echelons of power.
Because it is toxic empathy. It's people that have never struggled, that think that resources are infinite, right? And they don't realize how the world works. And these migrants, not immigrants, these migrants, they prey on people's goodness. They prey on the fact that people want to help. So they pass these laws that they think they vote on them with this abstract way of thinking that we can only have in the West, and then only realize how bad it is once there's practical consequences, like all these feminists in the UK. And this Muslim man, he jumped out of the park and he grabbed me. Where are you, Cayman?
If you had someone who was like a working class person in the UK, all of these problems would go away.
Yes.
You know why? Because all of these people would be booted out.
Yeah.
To both of your points,
it's like I always
Matt. Let Matt go because I cut him off earlier. So.
I want to make just two quick points here. Tommy Sotomayor, who you've referenced before on your stream, he has this saying about he called it just white people, but let's just call it people, Western people. He said they're really nice until they're really not.
Yeah, sure.
And that's kind of the slide that you're seeing with people waking up to this migration.
You're gonna see it.
Yeah, and you are, and you're already seeing it in places like Sweden and Finland where they're kicking them out and sending them back.
Yeah, it's going to happen in the UK too.
It will.
Give it another 2 years, it's going to happen.
It will.
And
they'll swing around.
Sweden's prime minister is a far left woman. Yeah. She said enough. She's one of the wokest politicians on planet Earth, and even she said enough.
Yes. Yeah. So that door can swing both ways. Do you know what I mean? Also, to Andrew Wilson's point about military power, I just want to say this. So there's this thing that kind of proves Andrew Wilson's point. The TOW rocket launcher. In order to operate this weapon, you have to have an IQ of about 105. Okay. Now, Israel invaded Gaza, and very, very few of their tanks were lost because you have very, very few of these weapons being used by these people. They have a lot of explosives and a lot of machine guns, but nothing like a top attack TOW rocket launcher, right? Russia invades Ukraine, where you don't see the same deficit, where they do have similar IQs, and Russia has lost 10,000 of their best main battle tanks in 2 years of war. And the two sides are actually kind of comparable, given Russia and Ukraine and Israel and Gaza. And my point is that what Andrew Wilson is talking about is the ability of smart people to make a big difference with just a couple of weapons. And if you have an 85 IQ, it precludes you from using a TOW rocket launcher.
Yeah. Hey guys, guys, you know who just died? Hold on.
You mean just now?
Yeah, hold on. You guys remember this guy? The guy from the first Blade. He was the old guy that was like, he's in everything. He's like
Chris Christopherson.
No, I was born a vampire. You were merely turned.
With the gray eyes.
Yes. What's his name? Udo. Here, this is him.
That's one of the best death scenes in movie history, where he's on the beach.
This guy.
Yeah.
This guy. He always plays a bad guy. Always. R.I.P. to him, dude.
1-800.
He's got a bad guy face.
Yeah, everything that he was in. He was in a bunch of
British.
Gotta be.
You said he's got a bad guy face.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, he's German.
Just okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Duh.
Yeah,
like an aristocrat face.
Yeah, he was in tons of 80s movies too.
Brits don't have bad guy face; they have the bad guy accent.
Yeah.
Guys, man. R.I.P.
Unless
to him,
he's
dude.
from Derbyshire.
Yeah, guys, he was in Ace Ventura. Yeah,
he was in the bathroom. Oh no, he's
Armageddon. He was in Johnny Mnemonic.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to him, dude.
That's like Blade has got one of the best villain names ever, like Deacon Frost.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So, but he just had that like. I think the only person that played like a better snooty German dude was friggin' Alan Rickman. You know,
Yeah.
Bring me
Hans,
my detonators.
yeah.
Yeah. My favorite in the whole movie. He jumps off the thing. Oh no! You're one of them. Don't kill me! Don't kill me! Don't kill me! He changes his accent. He changes his accent.
Yeah.
Hans, huh? Nice with the accent. I want my
I
detonators.
when he says like, "Sorry, Mr. So and So won't be joining us for the rest of his life." It's like,
irrelevant. I don't know why you're laughing. AI is going to eliminate a biological IQ difference between different races.
Did he say different races? No. What are you talking about, guys? He's trying to say that people who still rub sticks together are just going to have AI.
you have to have some sort of intelligence to use a computer.
Exactly.
In different religions, between different countries. So that's a big problem for this kind of IQ argument. You're talking about people moving to the higher IQ West. Well, you have Christians from Latin America migrating en masse in the millions, 10 million over the past 5 years, coming into the United States. They're coming from Christian countries to the U.S. So you think that they're coming because it's a Christian country, or is it because of economic opportunity? And many people
that you won't find in the Middle East, you dumb.
People actually prefer to live in these countries. You have people in the U.S. being passport pros and living in South America because they're tired of this shithole United States. Unfortunately, what it's become, despite the high IQ
that you live in.
Why is that, Andrew? Explain it.
Yeah.
Switch over to Andrew. I want to remind you folks, please do self-regulate so that we don't have difficulty hearing the speaker.
Manny, please. We all know he got owned, but guys, please stay quiet.
It's yours.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you can make that argument. There are some high IQ Christian nations that move to even higher IQ Christian nations, but none of them move to Muslim nations.
Yeah.
You're not getting anybody to move over there, Daniel, because you don't have civilizations. You can't create civilizations. He says AI is going to come along and solve it all. You got to be smart enough to use the AI, Daniel.
There we go.
You have to be smart enough to use the AI. Remember, 70 to 85. That's your societies. 70 to 85. Basic jobs, practical skill, routine labor. Doesn't sound like a bunch of automation, robot building, AI savvy individuals. He points out the ideas of IQ. Remember, we have to have a basic minimum for civilization about.
And guys, basic minimum, that's here. Guys, let's cook with me really, really fast. Guys, that is an important concept that I don't think people talk about. What a basic minimum is. Okay, guys, here, let's think. My analogy to this, guys, Motor Week. You guys watch Motor Week, right? Motor Week. Now we're gonna talk about, and it has that one guy, the heavier set guy that's had the same voice. Now we'll look at the Ford Escort, right? Like, guys, Motor Week is putting its 80s classic reviews on YouTube, right? And guys,
cool.
The quality of cars in the 80s was nuts. Yeah. Some of them were so bad. They would do the braking test and the car would go sideways. They sold it. Well, that's not the best, but it's manageable. The car went sideways.
God, it wasn't the X body. It was another GM. I think whatever the Monte Carlos were, the rear axles used to fall off of them.
Yeah, used to fall off the car. Yeah. So, guys, there was no basic. I said what now? Basic. What did Andrew say?
Control.
Like a basic like you have delivery product, right?
Like a standard.
Yeah. We'll just say standard, guys. There was no standard. Now, if you buy almost any car in America, the standards are you are going to get something that's relatively good. Okay, a Honda, a Hyundai, a Chevy. There's no like crazy.
It has to meet a safety standard.
Yes.
There's it's not like a Ford Pinto that would be hitting the rear and it would explode.
Yeah. Come on, what do you say?
That's your societies, 70 to 85. Basic jobs, practical skill, routine labor. Doesn't sound like a bunch of automation, robot building, AI savvy individuals to me, Daniel. He points out the ideas of IQ. Remember,
so guys, how we live in the United States. Think about it. Everywhere you go, there's running water, there's stores, there's even the most poor areas. They live better than most of South America, Africa, the Middle East. You don't see people that are living in huts with no lights. You know what I'm saying? Even the poorest areas, these rural areas where there's nothing but meth and fracked water, that the government still manages to get water out there. They have lights. They have internet.
They've all still got a PlayStation.
Yes. Did he say minimum standard? I think he said our minimum standard of civilization. You are better. The homeless live better than people live in the Middle East.
Yeah.
You can be homeless and live in any state and have more amenities. You can have a cell phone with the internet and be homeless here. You can go to the hospital. It's crazy.
We have to have a basic minimum for
a basic minimum. Yeah. Our basic minimum is better than anywhere else, especially in the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? Think about how the citizens, like the regular citizens in Saudi or in Oman live. Out, even in the cities.
Not expiring in the streets.
Yeah.
And people leaving you for a week. And
Look
no
at India.
About it.
Look at India. Guys, there's just poop canals going down the street. Going down the street. It's disgusting.
Civilization about 98 to 100 to 115. They don't have it. That's the distinction in our civilizations. And it's because of one value. Christians outlaw screwing your own family members. That's it. Simple. They outlawed. It's no good. And even in places where it's legal, we must be adhering to the ecclesiology here, Daniel, because where it's legal, people still ain't banging their cousins. That's your societies, the ones that you build.
Cooked.
And what you have built is a collective of some of the dumbest people on planet Earth who are at the mercy of Christians. And don't try to cope and say, no, they're at the mercy of the atheists. Give me a break. Everybody is at the mercy right now of Western nations and Western Christians, which are in them. And that includes Eastern Europe, by the way. So this is all cope. He hasn't refuted any of the arguments. How can he possibly say these low IQ societies, which Islam creates, are better than the ones Christians do on this one principle? I want to hear it.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Correct.
Yeah, so you don't need to know how AI works to be able to operate it. That's why it's an evening of the playing field. I don't know if anyone here has used AI, but you don't actually need to know how to program AI to be able to use it. This is something that is very obvious. How AI.
That's not what he was saying. That's not what he was saying.
He's advocating for people to be stupid. Well, we don't need to get smarter. We can just make AI.
And AJ, I would also make a correction with Andrew. It's like, guys, these places have been at the mercy of Western societies for 800 years.
Yeah. Yep, that's true.
These places have never been able to stand on their feet for almost 1,000 years until you had a bunch of Western, like European people show up and say, we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
We're not having people put in cages and burned to death. We're not doing that. And if you try and do it, you're going to get a musket ball in the face.
Yeah. That's true.
Like,
it's
unbelievable.
To make IQ differences really irrelevant in the future. And this is what all of the futurists are saying. Second of all, you have Christians in more religious Christian countries going to less religious Christian countries. You have, again, the sub-Saharan Africans, you have the Latin Americans who are Christian going into more secularized nations. So this is, again, an argument for secularism, not for Christianity. You say that there are no Christians moving to Muslim countries. What about all the Christians in Africa, in the Philippines, in Southeast Asia that go to Dubai, that go to the UAE, that go to Saudi? That is a counterexample to your really
they go there as They go there as temporary workers. They're not
Workers,
allowed
yeah.
to live there.
Yeah.
Practically slaves.
Or you have the friggin' 304s going over there to let Sheik Mahmoud
Yeah, but
drop a deuce on them.
More central to the point is that none of those people go to those countries and immigrate there and become
Fact.
citizens.
Yep.
These are like
I
all
wanna-
these like people from these countries are like, oh yeah, they're moving to European countries. So it's like, yeah, guys, they're selling knockoff Rolexes.
Yeah.
On the street. Like they're not like engineers and scientists and making anything better. They're just like scamming people.
Yeah.
Another point that he lost on is he's resorting to whataboutism.
Yeah,
and
sure.
that's
What
just
about?
another losing point in a debate. If you do a what about, guys, it's just desperation.
It's true. It's true.
The bizarre claim. You also,
it's
again,
nothing.
look at what makes a society great. I think that's the overarching point that is so hard to believe that a Christian would make this argument. I value marriage. I value children. I value having big families. I value
a family full of tards, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
belief in God. I believe church attendance or like religious attendance.
He's still reading off his script. He's still trying to bring this back to how he thought Andrew was going to argue.
To places of worship. These are the things that I find valuable. And I showed you how within Muslim countries, all of these things are higher, despite having a lower IQ, which I'll grant you.
Would
Did you say over or 10 seconds?
Yeah, but they don't
No,
not
you're
just have a
good. That
lower
was 90
IQ,
seconds.
they have a
Sorry,
severely
Yeah,
low
so this is
IQ.
really funny. Imagine the irony of saying this. Well, Christians are moving to more secular countries. So are Muslims. What are you talking about? The mass migration. No one's bitching about the mass migration of the Christians right now, are they? It's these Christian nations.
Yeah.
They're bitching about it the other way around. Really interesting, too. He still hasn't refuted the argument. Notice he does everything we get in the He says, we really value marriage to our first cousins. To our first cousins, we think it's great. It's fantastic. We really value.
Guys, go on the Crucible and you can see when Andrew first started doing online stuff, 2 or 3 years ago, when he was like super small time and he called himself, I think Big Daddy Big Daddy Fascist, right? That's what it was, just to piss people off, or whatever. Look at how much showmanship that Andrew's so used to this and comfortable now that the showmanship, it just makes it so much better, But you can actually see him put up older like streams that he was in from like 2 or 3 years ago, where he was still new. He was still, I don't want to say awkward, but he wasn't the Super Saiyan Andrew that we're seeing here,
Wait, it's like, no, that's not a value of mine, sir. And I don't think that that's secular to say. It's not a value of Christians do not want to have sex with their family members. And by the way, can you please explain, even though I've asked you many times, how it could be possible, sir, that you create better societies than Christians where everywhere Christians go based on their ecclesiology, their ecclesiastic authority, and the fact that they're Christians, inbreeding goes down, making sure that the IQ at least sits somewhere around can function. Can you please, for the love of all that is good, I don't even care if you Google it at this point, just contend with the argument. How are you making a better society with inbreeding and your Muslim values, which over 1,400 years have produced the dumbest societies on planet Earth?
Wait, let me ask the audience a question here. I'm sorry.
And of course, this is how you know he's cooked, guys. He's cooked.
Let me ask the audience a question.
Appeal to the audience.
Are there electric cars being developed in Latin America? Are there new AI technologies being developed in Brazil and Argentina? Are they being developed
coming
in
across
South,
as
in
just as
sub-Saharan
an
Africa?
extremely racist argument?
I don't know. And how is the moderator not like going like, dude, can you please answer Andrew's question?
Like I've heard him
hold
say
on,
this.
hold on. Wait. Adama says he's polished now. However, I was disappointed his debate. Guys, I'm gonna come out and say this. The whole Andrew Wilson, Greg Adams thing, that wasn't even a debate. It was just them talking at each other.
Yeah, it's people yelling at one another.
Yeah, if you actually watch it back, they didn't define what marriage was. The question itself, okay, I think that Greg Adams' position was superior, but then Greg Adams started throwing out ad hominems first. Andrew Wilson's position is inferior, right? You cannot justify marriage to men nowadays. But here's the thing. What was the question? Is marriage worth it, right? Guys, in what context? That's a stupid question to try and debate.
Well, it depends what your value is.
Exact, but you cannot have it depends when it's a debate question.
Yeah. Is that, do you value
You
money?
should have said, no. Is
stability?
marriage worth it right now?
Yeah.
Can marriage ever be worth it? Now, Andrew was arguing we can make marriage worth it if blank. Or Greg Adams is saying marriage is not worth it now. What they should have done at the beginning is both define what they thought marriage was. Andrew, he would have said, I believe marriage is an ecclesiastical thing and religion and blah, blah, blah. Greg Adams says it's this thing that happens with the government and we get cooked. And then they would have had to hash it out to where they had a common understanding and they could go from there.
Some sort of definition of
Yes,
what it
that
is.
was not a debate. And then also, Adama, this, if you watch every single debate other than Andrew debating marriage, Andrew does really, 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 really well. The marriage thing is like one of the things he just gets cooked on. The marriage thing, the single moms thing, because I told you guys, Pearly Things was asked Andrew, sell me on marriage. Imagine I'm a guy. I'm 28. My trucking business takes off. Sell me on marriage. Andrew couldn't do it. So
because he's coming from a traditional aspect.
Yes,
it's like
yes.
Most women are not traditional.
Yes. So Andrew can argue religion. He could argue politics. He could argue against feminism. He could argue against a lot of the things that we agree with him on.
This is his one chink in the armor.
This is the one thing, guys. Marriage is the one thing where he's on shaky ground because the bulk of our knowledge, of our experience, tells us that his position is not accurate. It's not helpful. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't have men's interests. Guys, once again, I can say Creepy, Steve, Adama, Captain Palsy, all you guys, everyone on the panel, if anyone ever tries to sell marriage to you, ask them these questions. How does marriage benefit women? And they'll be like, oh, well, women have safety, security, blah, 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 blah. But how does marriage benefit children? Well, safety, children have parents, da, 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 da. Ask them, well, how does marriage benefit men? And all of a sudden, they're going to...
Like a house of cards, dude.
They will start stuttering more than me. Because they don't have an answer. There is no answer. You know what I'm saying? For a small...
Because guys used to be, it's not a material thing with guys.
Yes.
It's more of a existential, philosophical thing.
But it's a duty and an obligation.
Yeah.
That's what marriage has always been, to make society better and to devote your life to something, to protecting and providing for something other than yourself.
Yeah. But they're not physical, tangible things. They're things that are like what people think. What they know is true in their mind and heart, right?
If you do that line of questioning, you will win every single time. Because what are they going to say? Oh, well, men get to have kids. Yeah, but 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10, women take them from you.
Yeah, they're taken away.
You know?
Or they're not even yours.
60 or 70% of the time, she's going to leave you. So everything that they say men can benefit from marriage, it's not true. It's not. Yes, you cannot argue against that. It doesn't matter what your religion is. It doesn't matter any of that. And that's the one thing. But here's the thing. I don't define Andrew's intent or his ability to debate based on that one issue. Because I would rather have me disagree with Andrew on marriage and still see him dunk on these single moms who think that they're better off with no husbands. See, Andrew Wilson's doesn't like single moms who think that they're the optimal way to raise kids. But that's why, and at the same time, he thinks that we need to make society better by marrying the single mom. That's another issue.
I was raised by a single mom, and I dislike them.
Hey guys, I gotta go to go to sleep. You guys have a great night.
Matt. Thanks.
Oh yeah, thanks for coming.
Yeah, those two issues: single moms, marriage, and then he's religious and I'm not. That's where we disagree. But everything else, politics, economics, anti-feminism. I agree with him. Yeah, and I honestly believe that he's doing more harm than good. So. Yeah.
These Christian countries, because they don't have cousin marriage, do they, Andrew? So why aren't they developing all of these technologies, these amazing technologies,
they're developed,
AI, nuclear?
They're more developed than the Middle East.
They are.
There are tech companies in Brazil.
Weapons, fighter jets.
They
I
have
didn't
them.
see Brazil or Honduras producing any fighter jets, Andrew.
They do.
Is it because they don't have cousin marriage? Why? They should be having this brain blasting IQ in all these Christian countries. Why is that not the case? If Christianity is the secret sauce, Andrew, then tell me why these countries don't have those technologies. Explain it. Because the reason, I'll give you a spoiler alert, because it's not Christianity. It's not Christianity and cousin marriage that causes this discrepancy. And if you're so high IQ in the United States, how are you not able to figure out birth rate, fertility rate? Why are these countries going extinct? Why is Europe going extinct? Why is Christianity, these Christian countries in Europe the population is on a nosedive despite the high IQ? They can't even figure out how to reproduce at replacement levels.
Because we're being flooded by people.
To extinction because it's correlated, right? The higher IQ you have, the lower the fertility rate.
So you say you can't have a high IQ? Oh no. So we should all be stupid. So we can have kids.
Yeah.
Moron.
He is literally advocating the Cletus syndrome.
Yeah. He's literally idiocracy.
Yeah.
The more Christianity you have, the more chances you have of going extinct, Andrew. Explain that for us.
Well, if that were the case, you're in big trouble. Because if it's the case that your IQ stays the same and then collectively secularist IQ goes up, what's to stop them from wiping all of you out and you can't do anything about it? Your argument, unfortunately, destroys you. When you say, well, wait a second, what about these South American nations, right? Yes, they're way more advanced than your nations. Way more. Not even in the same universe more advanced than your nations. Yes. The truth of the matter is that the reason Islam creates worse societies. We can bicker about theology, right? Hey, I'm sure Daniel could probably get me on some points there, but you can't bicker on the facts. And he hasn't contended with the argument still. He's asked me a bunch of questions. Did you actually hear an argument, anybody? Because there isn't an argument. The reason Islam makes worse society.
Those beads of sweat going down his knuckle his face. Cooked.
Is because they have a doctrine for cousin marriage. Now, I noticed Daniel didn't say, no, you can't fuck your first cousin and marry her. No. He didn't say that because he probably believes that you should. He probably believes it's fine. He probably believes something about like it protects inheritance or something like this, right?
Yes.
The thing is, though, is like, can we please get an argument for how a society that doesn't at least have 100 IQ so we can have middle management isn't better than... Well, donkey, pull cart. That's what I want to know. And please, for the love of God, sir, when you say it's not because of Christianity, the entire historical record disagrees with you. When pagans were at 20 to 30%, guess what? It was Christians who brought that down. And by the way, in all of the Muslim shared nations with Christians and Muslims, they're always lower IQ than the Christians because they fuck their cousins.
In time, we'll go.
Guys, make sure to hit the like button, guys. Hit the subscribe button, guys. Hit the super chat button.
This is a slaughter.
Hit the join button. Yeah, guys, he hasn't said it. He's just trying to read over his notes to try and formulate an argument against something that he didn't plan for,
Over to Daniel, 90 seconds as well.
Again, throughout Christian history, you had sub 100 IQ. Throughout Christian history. It's only because of the Flynn effect in recent centuries that you have this change. So all of the criticisms that you're applying to Islam apply to your past civilization. How did you have a Christian civilization with sub 100 IQ, Andrew? Was the Byzantine Empire a S-hole? They had sub 100 IQ. How did they have a civilization without having positive 100 IQ? You can't explain that. You can have a beautiful, expansive civilization and empire with sub 100 IQ because there's other values that are significant to human existence.
AJ, can I tell you why? Can I tell you why that like Europe progressed in that way? Because we were allowed to experiment. We were allowed to like figure out what things were going on. Unlike in Islam, where things are set in stone. You can't change things.
No, there's a reason why. In Africa, in North America, South America, right? There was space, large space, and abundance of resources. In Europe, there was a whole bunch of different peoples who lived in a small area where there was harsh winters, not a lot of space, and there was war. So guess what? Necessity breeds innovation, right? So the Europeans started herding animals first. They started planting different crops that were stable throughout the harshest weather. They learned how to kill each other and keep each other alive better, right? That's just how it works. Think of this. If you were the Korg tribe and I was and then there was the anonymous tribe and I was the AJ tribe, and we're in the plains of America. If Korg's tribe got mad at us, they can just walk like 18 miles in one direction and never see us again.
Yeah.
Where could the Europeans go? Europe's a very small part of the world. You can fit Europe into the Pacific Northwest. Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Montana is the size of the UK, France, Germany, Spain, Portugal, and all of the Nordic areas.
I think the UK you can fit in the US like 100 times.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
So guys, like read Guns, Germs, and Steel. This is one of the best books that explains that the Europeans weren't just magically smarter than everyone. They weren't magically more racist. They were just in a position where their environment bred more necessity.
Just
which led to innovation.
Advancement.
Yes.
Values like marriage, family, God, worshiping God. You don't need to be a positive 100 IQ genius to be able to love and be devoted to God. I think that is actually more of the Christian message than this kind of IQ chauvinism that you're presenting. This
IQ chauvinism?
What
are you talking about?
Beta doesn't seem Christian at all. This really doesn't seem Christian. You keep talking about like donkeys pulling carts. Go to the Philippines, bro. They're Christians. Go to the Philippines. Go to some of these African countries. Go to Botswana, Christian country. They have donkeys pulling. So their Christianity and their lack of cousin marriage is not helping them. So this is a really bizarre argument, and all of you can laugh and chuckle it and laugh it up, but it doesn't change how stupid this argument is. If you have if IQ is
the audience
end all be all of civilization and the end all be all of progress.
Shut up, dude.
Let's take a look at the first straw man. Did I ever say IQ is the end all be all? No, of course not. Straw man still hasn't told us how Muslims build better civilization.
Look at how he's just these are the people who try and argue transformerism and all this other stuff, right? He's just completely cooked.
When they produce 70 to 85 IQ individuals who are basically only suited for basic jobs. Okay, still hasn't told us that. He can't tell you. He can't tell you that these are better civilizations. The reason that he can't is because they're not. They're clearly not. And the thing that's really funny about this is, like, let's just grant it. Let's just grant that, just for a second, we'll just grant Daniel's argument. We'll just pretend, well,
Honduras is bad, yeah.
It's okay to have a bunch of 80 IQ people who can't seem to get past primitive technology and are just day laborers. But you know what? We don't do anything degenerate. Fucking your cousin's degenerate, Daniel.
There we go.
That's degenerate.
Let's go. Right there, guys. Right there. Look at that. Cooked. Hook, line, and sinker, game, set, match.
Yeah, maybe they don't have hookers and OnlyFans girls, but fucking your first cousin is degenerate. So by the way,
according to what?
It's like the worst thing. Like my opinion, that's like it's in like white culture, however you want to. Like that's like a big joke.
Yeah.
Like screwing your cousin, that's like a huge joke. Like,
sure. And it's so crazy that like, think about the royal families and stuff back in the day and how weird that they all looked because they were horribly inbred. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
you go to Wales, everyone makes that joke.
Yeah. But the Welsh are kind of odd looking people.
Yeah, they are weird. Yeah.
And let me just point this out, and this is really, really important to point out. He has not made an argument about how they produce a better civilization. Only I have. My argument is simple and still stands unopposed. Where Christianity goes, incest decreases based on canon law. Where Islam goes, incest increases based on their canon law. Therefore, where Christians go, society gets better. Where Islam goes, it gets worse. An argument would sure be swell.
90 seconds. Daniel.
Cook.
I gave a argument that you failed to respond to. I said that Islam, when we look at
but you didn't address his argument. That's just the yeah, I'm telling you, this is one of the worst ass kickings I've ever seen. And he should have just put the microphone down, offered his hand to Andrew, and then just ran away.
Statistics. When we look at all these countries on these metrics of marriage, birth rate, household size, belief in God, conviction in God. I thought we were believers. Conviction in God is higher in Muslim countries. Holding on to your religious practice is more in Muslim countries. Look at the levels of drug abuse, alcohol abuse being lower in Muslim countries. These are all values that are good, and we see them associated with Islam, not Christianity. That was my argument. So you can't deny those statistics. So you keep claiming that I have no argument. I clearly do have an argument, and I refuted your argument. If IQ is the end all,
guys, there's actually a base WNBA player, this Sophie Cunningham. Some NBA player said, "Dude, if I was in 8th grade, I could dominate the WNBA." And they asked this chick, Sophie Cunningham, and she's like, "Of course he would." And all these chicks are all mad. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, your entire argument is on the basis of IQ. You haven't said, you just say, marrying your cousin, effing your cousin, that is degenerate. On the basis of what? It's not on the basis of your body.
Laugh it up. Your bloodline.
Laugh it up.
I want to make sure we
guys, this is why I couldn't be a debater.
It literally physically degenerates you.
Because I would just cuss them out.
I'm going to have to tap out, man, but somebody should have called the police because that was a brutal murder.
All right, Corey. Take it easy,
See you guys.
Yeah.
Hear the speaker.
Laugh it up, okay? Because as I said, you are arguing on the basis of a decree that was made. What is the actual moral? Can you make a moral argument, Andrew? Other than, it lowers IQ. There are many things that lower IQ. Like I said, interbreeding with other races, interracial marriage results in lower IQ. So is that degenerate as well?
Interracial marriage makes lower IQ? What are you talking about?
Why can't you answer these questions, Andrew, instead of repeating, you don't have an argument. You haven't responded to my argument. Okay, yeah, you've said that 10 times. Respond to the points that I'm making.
Well, I don't. Here's the thing that's funny, right? The points that you're making are in question form. Question form is not an argument. They're questions, not arguments. Perhaps you should go to a higher IQ school. The point is here, and this is super important to point out, I have what's called an argument, which means I made an argument. That argument needs to be refuted. Now, I would be happy to sit here and answer all of your questions today, Daniel, but you requested specifically a forum where that's not the case.
Thank you.
Where instead we do 2-minute monologues, probably because I would tear you to pieces in a Socratic method. But I would have been happy to do that too. People always misjudge. They always seem to think, well, Andrew just steamrolls debates, and he's terrible at these long-form formal debates. It's where I fucking thrive. And let me just point this out.
Yeah.
Has anybody heard an argument yet? He just says, well, there's better families and stuff. It's like, okay, but you need to give us a standard, an argument standard for why it would be that these have better societies than societies which can have, I don't know, skilled labor and middle management at the very least. That's all I'm asking for. I'll concede. Hey, we've got some problems. We've got the OF. We've got the prostitution. We've got some pretty horrible things going on over here. And we have high IQ enemies that require high IQ enemies, right? And they're not getting it from Islam. So my question just is this again. It's very simple. How do you make societies that can even combat this to begin with when you basically live in the Stone Age in comparison with technological distinction? You live in the Stone Age. Islam will get AI. We already got AI. What are you talking about? So I just want an argument. That's it. I want to hear an argument for why Islamic nations are better than Christian nations based on the fact that they go, and everywhere they go, they increase cousin fucking and we don't, which lowers the collective IQ. I would actually like a refutation there at some point.
Okay, here is the argument. I'll put it in premise form so you can follow it. Take notes, Andrew. Premise one.
And this is when he knows he lost. Right? Take notes, Andrew. Take notes.
Yeah.
Come on.
So I was going to say, so this is another thing I was like comparing with these two. It's like when Andrew's talking about like the degeneracy that we've got in our societies, right? We're addressing it. We're saying these are bad things. Like you, me, Sigrid, Snowboarder, all of our, like we address it that these things are bad and we're just like regular people. So God knows how many regular people out there actually say that these things are bad.
Yeah.
Right? I have yet to see any kind of scholar on the Muslim side say that cousin marriages are bad.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one. I don't know if any of you guys have seen any or all these other degenerate things that they do. You know, like it's like, you know, they just don't address it.
Yeah. Well, because they don't have to.
They don't have to. Yeah, exactly. They don't have to.
Okay, societies that encourage marriage or religions that encourage more better marriages, higher quality marriages, less being sluts, okay, less prostitution, societies that have bigger and more healthy families, societies that have more devotion to God, religions that encourage societies that are more cohesive, are standing for each other in a kind of nationalistic or communal way. That religion that encourages more of that is going to be better, is going to be a better religion. Premise two, Islam does encourage all of those things that I've mentioned, and the stats I presented, that's premise two. Therefore, conclusion, by deductive inference, Islam is a better religion than Christianity. That is the argument. The problem with
that's not the question. They said what makes society better, not what's a better religion. You guys understand? Yeah. What a joke.
Argument is that you say premise one, societies that have higher IQ are going to be better. Premise two, Christianity, because it bans cousin marriage, is going to lead to societies with higher IQ. Therefore, Christianity is better. My rebuttal of this dumb argument is that premise one is wrong. Premise one is a false premise. That higher IQ does not lead to better societies. And as proof, I pointed to the United States of America. I pointed to many Christian countries that have low IQ, and you haven't denounced those countries. I gave many reasons why your premise one is false. That is my rebuttal of your argument. Get it?
Yeah. Let's go through this premise at a time. First and foremost, the entailment of your argument would be that low IQ societies are better. It would be that lower IQ societies are actually better, Daniel, which is hilarious because remember, you rejected that as being a false premise. P1, he says societies require higher quality marriages. They fucked their first cousins. How could that possibly be a higher quality marriage, Daniel? I reject premise one. I'm saying your argument's not even sound. How can you have in any way, shape, or it's totally invalid. I reject it as even being a sound premise. How could this qualitatively be better to have genetic deficiencies compounded over 1,000 years? To the point where your civilization literally requires the benevolence of all other civilizations so that they just don't wipe you out because you're not technologically advanced to do anything about it. You're not technologically advanced. And by the way, when I say technology, I'm not just talking about like lasers and phasers and guns and things like that. Remember, things like philosophy, that's a technology, right? Things like language is technology. Things like social communications and businesses and infrastructure, these are technologies. You can't have these technologies when your IQ is 70 to 85. You can't. You need to have the administrative and skilled labor class, and that requires at least
you know what else is crazy,
85
AJ?
to 100.
You know what else is crazy about this? Like with like Christianity, right? It's like God gave us free will.
Yeah.
Okay. And we had the free will to say that we don't want to F our cousins. Right?
Yeah.
And then you have something like the Muslim faith,
yeah,
where it's like it's way more rigid and way more strict and yet they still do this degeneracy of like with their cousin marriages and stuff like that. And like Christianity is just like, no, we reject that. That's our free will to reject those things.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah. Look at this, guys. This is in Canada. This guy. So his parents are cousins.
I think I saw him at the Tim Hortons.
Yeah. So like all of them are all messed up, and she's trying to, and of course none of them work.
House.
Oh yeah, none of them work, right?
No, of course
so
not.
They're living off of benefits, and every single kid they have is a tard, and then she's trying to blame the doctors. And be like, oh, the doctors are the reason why my kids are this way.
It's that white doctor.
Yeah. So all of her kids are all they're just parasites on the system, man. It's sad. It really, really is. You know,
they're all English though. I mean,
yeah,
you know,
yep.
Most of these places don't have it, but 100 to 115, that's pretty standard for these things. So it's like, look, how could you possibly say that the societies Christian build aren't better on a single principle? That we outlaw first cousin marriage. When you outlaw first cousin marriage, you see the collective IQ begin to increase, right? And you see that these technologies are no longer unavailable.
Innovations,
technologies, medicines for children, things like this are now available. His argument, his entire argument is actually we should keep our society super low IQ because if we keep them low IQ, well, they'll have more qualitative marriages and stuff.
Easy to control.
What?
We have to switch it over at 90 seconds. Go ahead, Daniel.
Guy's a clown.
No, I didn't say having lower IQ means you'll have more marriage.
That's the logical conclusion of your argument, you dumb. Look at that.
But this is disproven by your own religious history. This is disproven by all of Christendom prior to 1800 or even 1900, the 1900s actually. So just like Christians could have civilization for 1900 years, Muslims have also had their civilizations that were also thriving, that also had conquest, that also had art, literature, poetry, all kinds of beautiful things that we as human beings value. It's not just IQ. You're taking this.
Your IQ went down and you destroyed them.
Why you as a Christian would have this kind of IQ fetishism? You're not a white nationalist. IQ is not the end all be all of human existence.
What does being white have to do with anything?
Because it's the only thing he's got left.
Yeah. Guys, I tell you, this is one of the worst ass kickings I've ever seen.
He's a white guy, so he must be in with the bad man.
Guys, here we can do part 2 because we're almost at the 3-hour mark.
Yeah.
Guys, hold on. We might need to do clean our palates here with on. There was a
this is a great debate. It's so good.
Yeah. This shows exactly what not to do.
Everything that's wrong with what's going on in our society.
Come on, guys.
And I will say this. Andrew in this debate has forced me to now commit to I will not try to bang my cousin.
Yeah.
So
I was on the fence about it, and then
guys, let's switch gears here, guys. Right? You know, because guys, we're at the 3-hour mark. Andrew Wilson schooled this dude. You know, we can watch the rest. Guys, tomorrow's topic is going to be nurses getting cooked. Have you guys heard of this thing where the Department of Education is going to make it so that nurses aren't considered professional degrees, and it's going to severely limit their student loans?
I am happy.
Thank God.
You know what I'm saying? They're cooked.
I'm just gonna after this. I've just got to grab a whiskey.
Yeah.
I'll be back in a second.
Well, here, guys, let's switch gears. Guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, guys. Let's switch gears here, guys. Let's just do this here, right? Let's just do this. And guys, I will start posting stuff on 50 and 304s here soon. I know to say that, but once I get back on vacation, I'll actually do it. But
That's the sound of the police.
here we go.
Here's 2 cases of women proving why running from police is never a good idea. Let's jump into the first. On June 22nd, 2023, deputies in Port Charlotte, Florida, responded
Florida,
to a call about a woman struggling to park her car at a local bar. When they arrived, 37-year-old Kelsey Alm appeared to be under the influence and was on the verge of causing a massive scene.
Hey, man. Go ahead and turn that off for me. Go ahead and turn the car off for me.
Just look at how sweaty this broad looks. Ugh.
How about? So why are you driving if you've been drinking?
I'm going home right now.
Okay. Well, I can tell you.
There you go, Secret. Her search says she needs a hug.
Look, AJ, if I don't drink and drive, how am I gonna get home?
Extremely intoxicated right now.
Can you?
You're slurring your speech. You're here at a bar. They're telling me that you're stumbling out of here. You can barely park your
They
car.
tell you that?
They're
Did
the one
you
that called me.
talk to them?
They're the one that called me. You can barely
Let's go.
stand right now.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Are you sure?
I am sure.
Let's go talk to them.
No, we're not going to go talk to them. We're not going to do that.
All right, I'm
But,
going.
ma'am, no.
Ma'am,
Step over here.
sir, please.
She's good.
Please don't. Please don't. Hey. Do not address me. Do not. I'm not doing anything.
Please, God, tase her. Please, for the love of all that's holy, please. I don't ask for much, but let him tase her. Let's go.
Stop.
334. Whoever's in the house. Let's go.
Help! I'm gonna stop myself. Stop! You're fucking stop! Stop! Why are you doing this?
Go down. On the ground.
Why are you doing this? Why?
Roll over. Roll over.
By the way, guys.
It's time.
Wait till you guys see something. Watch. Wait for it.
Why are you doing this?
Wait for it.
Help me! Help me! Help me! Help me!
Guys, she said,
You motherfucker, are you happy? You fucking prick, are you happy?
Well, stand up.
Help me! Yeah. Help me!
ah.
Help me!
That's a weird police uniform. I've never seen a green one.
Help me!
It looks like a green version of the New Jersey one.
So,
Yeah, it's weird.
She wasn't driving?
Hell no! I'm walking home from my motherfucking spot, and you.
But she was sitting in the driver's seat, intoxicated. That's a DUI, guys. Even if your car is off, if you're in your driver's seat, you can get a DUI or an OUI.
No, what?
She had the car started when I walked up.
Help
Had her
me.
turn it off, had her step out. Slurred speech, I explained why I'm here. She started to run away from me. I told her to stop. Didn't stop.
Exactly.
Grabbed onto her.
Take a deep breath. Help me, community, help me.
Community?
My baby's at home. Look at me. What's your name? My name is Kelsey. Your name is Kelsey. What's your last name?
Yeah, she looks like a Kelsey, right, guys?
What's your last name? This is my fucking community, and
Guys,
I
wait,
am
look.
having a good
Guys, she pissed herself. Watch.
time. Okay. And he attacked me. Let me go. I will walk.
Now we're doing an investigation.
It's okay.
So no.
Whatever you have to do,
Then
and
you're
don't
gonna
expect.
listen. You're gonna stay in handcuffs until he's done with his investigation.
Exactly. Don't fucking talk to me, crazy.
I'm not crazy.
Look at y'all.
We're gonna stand you up.
There you go.
Where's your car at?
There. Take me to please.
You got gloves?
Yeah. I'll switch out with you here.
This one?
I got it.
Whatever you gotta do.
It's the Black Avenger over here.
Whatever you gotta do. Exactly. Whatever you gotta do. Don't. Hey, you ain't taking my fucking purse. You better leave that shit on me.
My purse.
Okay, we're done.
No, it ain't done.
Relax.
Get the fuck off my purse, you little bitch.
When you say it's all down for us,
Man.
we're taking
I will come. No, you ain't.
Watch.
You better shut the fuck up.
Oh, look at that. Don't do that either.
Oh.
That's not happening.
No, watch, guys.
Whose car is it? Hold on.
That's what the fuck they are.
Don't you put your hands on me!
Back up or you're
Don't
gonna go
you?
to jail.
Fuck you! I will go to jail.
I bet you will.
Go fuck yourself.
They're fucking bitches.
Ah, look at that.
Wow.
Yes, see, look at that.
Wow.
She pissed her pants. Disgusting.
Stop resisting.
I think she's got mental health issues, AJ.
little fucking topic, mother. Get the fuck off my fucking hands. Fuck you, you little bitch. What?
I'll
You
kill
little
you.
bitch? What? You stupid bitch. Kill me. Kill me, you little
Yes, please.
Come on. Fucking kill me. Kill me with your little white ass motherfucker.
All right, let's see. Let's go to the next one, guys.
Are they at the hospital?
I don't know if you need this.
One.
30 days in jail, 2 years probation. Her driver's license was revoked for 10 years, and she was ordered to
This image was upscaled, guys. She doesn't look anything like
pay
this.
$4,683 in court costs. Moving on to May 14th, 2025, a deputy in Marion County, Florida, was dispatched to a treatment facility for 25-year-old Trinity Fields, who violated her probation and had outstanding felony warrants.
I don't know if you need this. Yeah, she's being unsuccessfully discharged. So whenever they unsuccessfully discharge them, Volusia County issues a warrant for pickup, and then they come get her from the jail and take her back to Volusia County.
So she was here on probation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah,
I got you.
Yeah. Why am I going to jail? Because we have had to have many conversations with you, Trinity.
I haven't been doing anything.
Yes, sweetheart, yes, you have. You just went off on staff yesterday. You
No,
went
I
off on-
didn't.
So everyone's lying on you, Trinity?
I did not go off on staff yesterday. I was completely respectful yesterday.
Yeah.
No, you were.
Yeah, right.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Yeah.
Not really. This has been an ongoing issue. And you remember I had a conversation with you and we talked about it. We have tried to help you time after time.
There's like a
We're not
rehab
seeing any
place.
changes. I don't know.
Yes,
Okay. So we'll get that for you. It's in the peak planner.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll get that and we'll give it to the officer to take with you.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Trinity, let's jump over here. Nah, this way. You're gonna get tased. You're gonna get tased. Taser.
Ah, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
Ding dong.
Merry Christmas to all and all a good night. Let's go. Let's watch the super slow-mo replay.
Big girl. She can run for a big girl.
You're gonna get tased. Taser.
Right in the flank. Well, at least he had a big enough target.
That never gets old.
I just can't imagine hitting the ground like that.
Lay on the ground. Right now, you're gonna get it again. Lay on the ground, or you're gonna get it again.
Get it again.
6-2-14, 1031, taser deployed. You're gonna get it again. Roll over on your stomach. Roll over on your stomach now. I got another cartridge. If you do that, put your hand behind your back. Do not move. Do you understand me? You didn't have to do any of that.
Well, in rehab.
Horrible. Did you guys ever see that cop that tased that kid on the freeway and then the kid got hit by a car?
No.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
Watch this, guys. One here. Watch.
Why don't you give me the right name?
It is the right name.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Brent, I know. So right now you're under arrest. Stop getting tased! Stop!
Watch.
Shit!
Whoa!
Oh my God.
Look at that, guys. Cooked.
How a series of bad
God.
decisions.
Yeah.
He did not survive.
Damn.
All he had to do was comply.
And guys, this person says, some people in the comments are disturbing, just writing the man's life off like it was nothing. He was a human being. He could have been mentally ill. Guys, this is why you never hold court in the street. Okay? Guys, just do what the officers tell you to do and then sue them later. That's all you have to do. Uh-oh, hear these protesters.
Or you're going to jail. Do you understand?
Losers.
I'm feeling a little dizzy.
All right, you guys. I'll shut this bad boy down. Guys, we'll be live tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Guys, no lives Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because I'll be out of town. Guys, we're going to talk about these nurses and how cooked they are, right? Because the Department of Education is cooking these nurses. So, but all right, guys, I appreciate it. Thanks,
Great
guys.
stream, AJ.
Take it easy, everyone.
Thanks.